it's really important to have a plan and understand what your goals are.
In fact, my camel out there is suffering right now with a broken back.
So I actually found Pepe when it was only a couple of hours old, and I'm like, oh, this is a funny meme.
Oh my god.
Yo! Who is this degen?
The old man is swing trading over years at a time. And it's like, that's where the real money is made.
The answer is a permanent loss. With single-sided staking, you don't have to worry about a permanent loss.
But really, at the end of the day, it's just a matter of a macro market. It's just what happens.
If you're aware, if you're disciplined, you can hone that into further financial growth.
Financial freedom, so we can actually live life and not have to be constantly living paycheck to paycheck. I mean, that's the ultimate goal, more or less, right?
Ladies and gentlemen and D-gentlemen of all ages, welcome to Degen Roundtable, episode 100, where we're talking everything going on in the crypto markets tonight. But more importantly, if you've been with us this whole time, you're officially a Degenturian, surviving 100 episodes. Hello, I'm your host for this evening, Zenith, and I'm joined by an excellent cast of crew here tonight. Up first, we have our good buddy and co-host, Brendan, aka Bean. How we doing, buddy?
Doing great, man. 100 episodes. Born in the bear market, and we ain't fucking leaving. Let's go.
That's right. Joining our crew tonight, we got Mr. Will Stevenson on the road. How you doing, my man? Can you hear us? Hear you, sir.
You're muted, sir.
That's because I had my mute button on my headset. I keep forgetting that this is like a setting that I use. What's up, everybody? Good to see y'all. I think I'm in Memphis right now. I'm real close to Memphis if I'm not inside it. But yeah, I'm making my way to Huntington, West Virginia. Good to see y'all.
Absolutely. And last but not least, we have our great value technical analyst, Agent J. How we doing, buddy?
I'm doing wonderful, wonderful, sir. Trying to get my steps in during our celebration stream here. But other than that, man, I've been doing extremely well.
Hey, glad to hear it. And I mean, we talked about it about a month ago at this point, but we were talking about the possibility of what could be a green September, which is like the first time in a long time. But you know, it's actually looking more and more possible. So we'll get into that later on. But overall, I mean, interesting stuff in the markets, some interesting news as well. And hopefully we have some interesting little behind the scenes tidbits for everyone out there on tonight's special episode. Speaking of which, it's a special episode. Brendan, do we have a small tradition that we do around here for celebrations?
I do believe we do, sir. I think we have a celebratory aspect to tonight's show.
Absolutely. Are you ready? Because I'm ready.
I'm ready, my friend.
I'm fucking ready.
All right, gentlemen, charge your glasses. Woo!
Wash your eyes.
That was a good one.
I've already opened my Red Bull. I did it right before the stream started, but that's what I'm rolling.
Excellent. All right. Well, let's see if we're breaking the bank today. The answer is no, by the way. We have Corbel Extra Dry Champagne. So that's Uncle Z's champagne of choice. Always drinking out of a red Solo cup, by the way.
Very nice.
I did bust out some fancy glasses today. I might have to take the
flutes.
These ones look like they're cracked. They're pretty cool.
Oh, very cool. Very cool indeed.
In them. I also have champagne glasses that have my last name on them, which I don't care to share.
Oh, that's
but I don't have them on me. So this is
it might not be an on stream.
Prima Perlo Prosecco.
Beautiful. All right, gentlemen. Cheers. Here's to 100 and 100 more. Link.
Cheers, gents.
Unless everything just goes to zero, and then we might.
Unless
everything
goes to zero. Yeah.
Well, but then again, if it goes to zero, we just keep working,
zero,
man.
We have bigger issues.
Yep,
that's true. That's true. Tell you what, Will, do you have the thing?
Oh, fuck! Do I have the thing? I do. I have to dig for it because I totally forgot that I should be a prepared Peter Panda. But yes, I have it, and it is in my hands. Oh, I'm glad that I kept my streaming kit handy dandy. Ladies and germs, it's time for chat motherfucking shoutouts. The best part of the show where we say hello to each and every one of you guys. Fucking send it, Zenith.
Absolutely, folks. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. We are happy to have all of you, starting off with Hex Glenn saying happy 100. Thank you, sir. Ms. Amber Simon, congratulations on 100 episodes, guys. Much appreciated. This is episode 100 for the main news show, so you can pretty much call it basically 100 weeks there over 2 years. Although we're definitely over 2 years. May or may not have missed some Sundays, partly because we have real lives outside of this still. So crypto markets haven't been doing that well just yet.
Yeah.
We got Mr. Slide 180 coming in with a cheers. Cheers to you, sir.
Cheers. I had an excellent night of drinking with you last night, Mr. Josh. We had a great fucking time. And he even gave me a copy of his album that he made. A freaking, it's a fucking black metal album. So I have, I think, the only existing physical, or no, there's like 60 something copies, and I got one of them. So shout out to Josh, and thank you, broski, for giving me some awesome freaking merch to go with your music that you made. So I love you, bro. Fuck yeah.
Love it. And we also got a good long-time friend of the channel. That's right. It's Funkmaster Hex. He says, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Good evening to you. And by the way, he does have a little tip. He says, hit the damn like button. But more importantly, cheers.
Cheers to you, Funkmaster Hex.
And sliding in here at the last minute, we got Michael Gardner saying, God wins, 111. I'm unfamiliar with the 111 reference, but there you go. Price is king, baby.
I mean, God wins, definitely. I'm not sure what the 111 is referenced to, but
people keep sneaking in here. Moonmutt, how you doing, buddy? He says, good evening, Degens. Good evening to you, sir. Glad to have everybody here with us. Seems like only yesterday the Degens first sat around the round table. That's right. Time flies, man. Time absolutely flies. I remember, like really going deep on crypto back in like late 2021, early 2020, and oh my gosh, it felt like the bull market was forever away, but we're here. It's definitely here.
Yeah, it's here. There's not as many things moving as cool as we'd like them to, but there's been a lot of stuff that's been happening. Bitcoin's done some great stuff. Ethereum's done some great stuff. XRP, Penguin, what are some other ones? Jay, Solana's done well.
Solana is actually one of the better performers over the last few weeks. Definitely held up the best during this downwards movements in the market, but overall everything has been holding up pretty well. Ethereum is down about just about 20% from the highs during that $3,800 wick. Solana's doing well. Aerodrome's doing well. There's definitely a lot of volatility on the assets down the Ethereum, like below Ethereum and below Bitcoin. But as far as when you compare it to other times in the market during the seasonality periods, right? You compare it to summer of 24, summer of 23. Definitely not as bad as those, especially not as bad as summer of 24.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, one of the things I've been paying attention to is the altcoin season indicator has been getting pretty up there, but I'm seeing a lot of people on Twitter that have been very confused about like where altcoin season, where is it? And the answer is it's really been consolidated in like 4 coins pretty much. That's MYX, M, Aster, and a little bit of XPL. But MYX up effectively 10,000%, M up 3,000%, and Aster up 2,000%. XPL is the next one at 634, and then everything else beyond that is down or is up less than 300%. So is it too crazy? No. Does it feel like an altcoin season? I would argue no, it does not.
Yeah, well, the bad news for a lot of the crypto bros is that it's not going to feel like alt season like prior alt seasons. I am sorry to say that. There are way too many assets in the market. There's not enough money to go around, and the money will flow into just a handful of good projects. So the unfortunate reality is the days of throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping for your 10,000, 100,000% upside is done unless you are an extreme degenerate gambler. So, right, you gotta pick your battles a bit more wisely this time around in crypto. So
that's true. One of the things for that is that we've been talking about the whole time. It is now much easier to launch a token. Anybody can do it. There's many different avenues to do it that take care of pretty much everything for you, whether it's pump.fun, pump.tires, or just the ability to launch a coin on your own. It has become infinitely easier. So because of that, a lot more stuff out there, meaning a lot less pump, but
And like a lot of, silly fun tokens launched for no particular reason that don't necessarily do anything. Like Zenith, do you happen to have some merchandise on you that makes fun of any tokens that were launched? I don't know.
I might happen to have that. So here, we'll flip back to this one real quick. Yeah, I made the DRT chalice for tonight, the Red Solo Cup. We got our party juice, but more importantly, I put the Degen Roundtable token stats on here. From all-time highs, the Degen Roundtable token is down 96.9%, and at the time, it was worth 15% of 1 penny.
Wonderful.
Oh man. That's
and
crazy.
by the way, here's our chart. So let's see how it was doing. All right. It's had better days, but this is only on the daily going back to March. Well, let's scroll all the way out. There it is. There it is. The beautiful peak back in January of 2024. By the way, folks, this is not is it a real token? Yes. Is it something that we actively promote? Absolutely not. This was entirely used as a teaching tool to show you how markets can be manipulated specifically through liquidity. But there are some fun points here that I do want to point out. I believe it's this candle right here, that giant wick. That was on a Whiskey Wednesday where we had Dev Donnie and Black Sheep Crypto on, and then we told them that we made this thing, and they were laughing like so hard, and they're like, let's see if we can mess with this thing. And just those two guys alone pumped the price in that single day pretty much 350%. So
well, I do want to give Black Sheep and Donnie their fruits there, but that was me that did that gigantic wick, because I remember I asked Agent J. Agent J to do TA because I was sitting there with my finger hovering over the buy button, and I think I just fucking dumped 300 or 500 bucks into DRT all in one fell swoop, and it was because it just immediately all sold right back down because there's arbitrage bots and things. But Dev Donnie and Black Sheep were definitely pumping it too, and we made a little challenge out of it. It was super fun. So when you guys hear during the intro, Agent J going whoa, and then me laughing, and Nate saying, "Who is this Degen?" It's from this part of the show where I pumped the fuck out of DRT for shits and giggles.
It was hilarious just to see this Giga Green candle, because the rest of us didn't know what was happening. So in real time, we see this Giga Green candle. It's a joke coin. We're just using it for education purposes. Back before Pump Fun, back before and so it wasn't so easy, and we're trying to teach people how to create coins, liquidity, etc. So shout out to Crypto Sloth, our
Crypto Sloth, baby.
Hell yeah.
Stud.
Man,
all right, well,
100 episodes, Zenith. I remember when we started, and it was the bear market. It's kind of felt like the bear market many times throughout this bull market, but we still got some time left, I think. We shall see.
I think we do. I think we do for sure. It definitely is one of those things where if you've been listening, and listening to me in particular, you know that my prediction for the 4-year cycle, or effectively 3 years and 11 months top to top, that's like 2 days from now. And I can tell you this much, based on what I'm seeing now and everything going on, it definitely doesn't seem like that is the actual top, especially considering we had a new all-time high back in August, and then we have yet to recapture that since. So,
but we've had some pullbacks, but we really haven't anything that's even as big as previous cycles.
It's true. That's definitely true. I mean, one of the things I was looking at is like in some of the previous cycles for Bitcoin, especially at the top, Bitcoin has effectively done a 2x in a matter of like 2 weeks. So that kind of action is definitely indicative of that like blow off top for sure. And I don't think we've seen anything like that. If anything, like the craziest times of action this entire cycle have been back when the Bitcoin ETF was launched, and then back in November, December after the election, when everybody just got like giga bullish on it. But outside of that, yeah, it's been just a slow, steady climb up and to the right. I mean, that's also not including that, what was it? We had pretty much a year-long sideways chop during the summer of 2024. I remember that one.
Yeah, we had some. That first reach back to all-time highs was way sooner than anyone anticipated.
Oh, yeah. And then along the way, I remember we had multiple different news events that single-handedly somehow either lined up perfectly with the chart or helped create the chart. I think one of them, there was like a bunch of stuff going on in the Middle East, and you can like to the day pinpoint it on the chart and be like, yes, here's where all the kerfuffle happened and price dropped. And then also, yes, this giant red wick candle right here, that's Germany selling 50,000 Bitcoin because they didn't rewrite their rules to allow them not to do that.
Oh man, what a fumble!
Yeah, that
And
was
the April-
definitely a fumble.
And then the April lows when Trump said, "You guys better buy now." And that was the April lows to a T.
Oh yeah, that was this year in 2025 after all the tariff stuff. Yeah, so that was 2025's double all-time high. That was blood in the streets for sure. But tell you what, I do have I have some fanfare here for you guys. So I went behind the dashboard and took a look at what we got. So 100 episodes in. Overall, we are at 91,000 views on the channel. So shout out to all you guys for tuning in and watching. You guys are all the best. And I gotta say, that's a lot of views. It's more than I would have ever figured that any of us could have probably gotten on our own. So teamwork makes the dream work, baby. And after 100 episodes of the main show anyways, we have 24,000 hours of watch time. So that is
Holy
a lot
shit.
of you guys tuning in and spending time here with us every week. So thank you so much for that. But
That's crazy.
there is one number that does kind of blow my socks off a little bit. Gentlemen, on YouTube alone, we have made 1 million impressions.
Very
Holy
nice.
smokes!
Very nice,
amazing.
Steve Chan.
I like it.
Fucking nuts.
I'll drink
There
to
you
that.
go.
Cheers.
I'll drink to that. Fucking
Salute,
cheers,
boys.
mates. Slinch it.
This is really good for a $15 bottle. This is, I don't want to drink all this tonight, but I might have to.
Do it. Don't be scared.
It is Sunday, so I think we do have work in the morning, so let's not get too crazy, but I'm definitely going to have some fun tonight. I'll say that much.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Alrighty. There you go. That is the stats by the numbers. And gentlemen, by the way, if we want to look at some of our best review or most viewed episodes out there, it's
I know
going to
number
be
one,
which one is that?
Liquid Loans.
Liquid Loans Deep Dive. Yes, sir.
Did that one beat the SEC one?
That one did beat the SEC one. That one is also
Ah.
up there as well. That is number 2 of the SEC Richard Hart court transcript reenact with Mr. Will, myself, and Wild SJ.
Yep.
And then after that,
Yep.
we have an excellent special guest episode with Dollar Cost Crypto. And after that one, the next best one is another special guest episode with Access Alive and Crypto Boogie. So shout out to all you guys for coming on and helping us.
Was that
Really,
was that
really-
the big TA stream? Was that the super TA stream?
Yes, that is the
I believe it was.
2024 Mega TA stream.
Man, I remember these things.
Those are
You
excellent.
got
Those are
good
excellent.
memory, bro.
For sure. Yes, but outside of that, I do have some interesting little tidbits here for everyone as well. So for the folks at home, I have pulled up some things to do a little bit of a run through memory hole lane. So here are some of the thumbnails that I remember making or other folks made that were excellent, extra good. Yep, that was one of them. That was when Black Monday recap. That was when everyone was yelling at Jerome Powell to do emergency rate cuts. And that was when the Japan yen carryover trade was ended by Japan raising their interest rates from 0 to a quarter of a percentage point.
By the way, some interesting XRP adjacent news this week that we might talk about. Not necessarily good for the crypto boys over at XRP that have been hopping on one thing for literally years. But I don't want to let the cat out of the bag yet.
All right, we'll
boy.
save it for a little bit later on. Up next, the meme of "I don't want to play with you anymore."
Oh my god.
You guys remember what this one was about?
Oh yeah, dude. That's when
The market has chosen.
Yep.
the
Market
market
has
has chosen. Call me crazy, guys, but I think that the audience took that message way further than the person talking about it did. You know, I think that like the Twitter influencers and the people in the Hexico space, like because they were already feeling down bad, this is my hypothesis anyways. I think that they did way worse stuff than Ricky ever did. You know, I mean, he is the forward face, but I think that like everyone took it and blew it way out of the water, being like, "Oh my God, Richard's like tweeting eHex to hell," when really all he said is like, "Oh, this one seems to have been picked by people." You know, that's my personal take on it. What do you guys think?
It's true, but that's what happens when you are the singular voice that can move the entire market.
Yeah.
And that's what Richie is. So people hang on his every word. If he says the market has chosen, people are going to extract certain assumptions there, even though, like you said, he just said something very factual, which was, well, the market seems to like this one thing better than the other. Nowhere in that statement that he says, I like this one thing better than the other. But that's what's going to happen. And when when you are the only person that can have such significant influence on, well, those four assets, well, that's what's going to happen. So the chart definitely reflects it.
Yeah. I will say that I think that this is one of the moments where the audience had more marketing power than the man himself, because everybody took it as like oh my God, he just murdered this thing, you know, and that narrative caught and spread like fucking wildfire, any more than anything Richie ever said about it at that point. So I think that that's like one of the few examples where like, oh shit, the community can market better than Richard if they're really depressed and angry and sad about something.
That's true. I think that one of the great ironies of this whole event is that if you listen to what Richard was saying, is that he said he hoped that eHex would be well valued or expensive wherever it is, whether it's pHex or eHex. And then kind of was taking a little outside there, and eHex had the dump. But if you are still up to date on everything going on with eHex and pHex, eHex is alive and well. And the prices are moving very well, especially if you're looking at the ratios. There's a lot of opportunity that people have capitalized on there, and it continues to show that it is a very dynamic market, especially when you consider that the liquidity on the eHex side of the house is significantly less than the pHex side of the house.
Yeah. I was really sad. I was really sad to see that the gift text stuff ended up being a rug, and that like GIF pulled the liquidity and basically ran away with everyone's money, because what he was doing with the Icosa side, with like the like you can send in one and the iBurn, all that stuff, that was really cool. That was really awesome. I had a lot of high hopes for that, and like, oh man, maybe this will one day be used to like help Ethereum Hex and Hex on Pulse Chain sort of kind of peg to each other. But you know, it ended up being like a big, like it ruined that was a ship that went down flaming and like took a lot of people with it. I remember like I was super excited about that protocol, and I thought it was great and awesome, and everybody was talking about it, and then like boom, everything was taken away, and then there was a whole bunch of like blame game played and some weird on-chain sleuthing and stuff that's still getting figured out. But it was like, I thought that was going to be like a really cool world where some people could figure out ways to incentivize people to do like pegs between assets at by like involving a third party system thing. So it was a bummer that stuff all turned out to be a bunch of foul play by people, but I think that the idea behind it was really nifty and really neat. But anyways, carry on with what you were talking about there, Z.
Well, it's on to the next one, and you probably have something to say about this one.
Are we still what 4-1 hex to eHex right now? About?
I want to say so. I know the ratio was swinging between 3 and 5 for a good bit. It
had almost gone to like 10-1 recently, and then it popped back up.
Yep.
Right now we're at 3.5 to 1.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, no,
not too bad.
Not at all. Alrighty. Will, do you remember this?
Richard Hart versus the SEC legal update part 2. Bro, that was a good time. That was you and me reading out, how long was it? 6 hours of legal documents? Yeah. That was a good time. Oh man, I enjoyed that.
Yeah, the thumbnail was partly inspired by, we went 4 hours reading legal documents, and then when we finally got the third document, we had to do another live stream, which was this one. So I think this might have been me putting my emotions of like, oh God, I don't know how much more
Yeah.
my voice can take, but overall, hey, that was good
Yeah.
stuff.
You guys
I
killed
was
it.
that was a fun time, man. You did the lion's share of that. I was just like a guy in the background for most of it, but I was happy to read for the little portion that I got. That was a really cool, because we got
It
to
was a
see
tag
the
team
stuff
effort, sure.
first. Yeah, yeah. It like I think it was really cool just that like we were able to get those documents and put it out for the people to listen to with their ear holes, like first thing on the ground. And I really enjoyed that. So I'm glad that you did that, Z. And I'm glad that you let me in to help you out. That was really fun.
Absolutely.
Not only did you
I
guys-
needed the help.
Not only did you guys talk about it first, but you read the entire thing. I mean, you guys were the first on the scene to break news. That's pretty incredible. And I think there's been a few times throughout the DGen Roundtable where we're seemingly the first show to break news live, and that's pretty cool. So kudos to both you and Will.
Hey, much appreciated. Yeah. No. We did also have some other very fun stories going on. This was a fun story to cover. Do you guys remember what this one was?
I do.
Yikes.
Oh,
Oops, that wasn't where I wanted to spend my money. What do you mean I don't have it anymore?
Yeah, so for this one, the rapper Ty Dolla $ign fat-fingered a transaction and accidentally sent $500,000 of a meme token to the origin address, aka the burn address.
Yep. Womp womp.
Yeah, so shout out to everybody that benefited from it.
Give them a bunch of money back, like bunch of coins back, just to get promotion. So,
and so is it a blunder? I would still say yes. Was there some upside to it?
Blunder.
To the silver lining there? Yeah, there was a little bit.
Huge,
already
hilarious. Test transactions, my friends.
Absolutely. This was a fun one, gentlemen. What was this?
I can't. Was this when we were in New York?
Anime.
Oh, an anime show.
Sorry, anime
Nope, this
stream.
was the anime stream that we did.
Nice.
Yeah.
Speaking of, have you seen Free Run yet, sir?
No, I have not.
Oh
finished Free Run yet.
my goodness.
I'm actually thinking about watching Free Run again. It's that good.
Bro, this guy's probably watching Solo Leveling, bro. He's off the team, bro.
I have actually not touched Solo Leveling because I've seen everything surrounding it and I've just not been interested. So I have not even touched Solo Leveling.
That's
Okay,
good.
not Solo
I like
Leveling.
Solo Leveling
He's
still.
been watching One Piece.
It's not as deep as Free Run, and not to go on a tangent, but watching. Well, I guess I watched Naruto and Shippuden with my wife, so we got through all of that for the second time for me. And
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yes, Bean, but have you seen Sasuke fight side by side by a velociraptor that can conduct ninjutsu? You know what I just found out, bro? That I didn't think actually happened. Apparently, the reason why Boruto is so off the rails was that I think Kishimoto lost the rights to handle that entire production, which is why it's gone like pretty downhill. So like he basically lost all of all control of the direction of how Boruto was going. Like he's back in now, but for a long time apparently he wasn't involved.
I haven't watched it.
It's rough.
I keep an eye on it, but I started when it first came out. I was like, wasn't really my speed. And then I've heard from other people about all the craziness. It's like I have enough anime that I haven't watched. I need to catch up on.
And you know what else is funny? Apparently Sarada has the best version of the Sharingan, but she needs glasses.
There is some irony there.
The irony.
It's like you have the best eyes in the world, the most powerful eyes in the world, but you need some prescription glasses.
Have you watched the Blue Lock?
I've seen season 3, right? Season 3 is that, or season 2?
Season 2 now, yeah.
Yeah, I love that show.
We're watching the
love it.
last. We have a few episodes left for that.
Even though the animation sometimes gets clunky, but
Yeah.
it's a sports show, so
It's my favorite sports shonen though is Haikyuu. The
Haikyuu's
volleyball.
good. Yeah, Haikyuu's pretty good.
Yeah, gosh, since we've done the anime episode, I think I've gotten a little further through Neon Genesis Evangelion. I've gotten further into Gundam 00. Dawn to Dawn came out, so I watched the whole season. And Alya sometimes speaks in Russian. That was Jay. That was probably one of the best recommendations you ever gave me. I like that one a lot.
Yeah.
It's just a show of like competent people, and I like that.
Yes. Here's another show. Since I know what genre you like now, Z. My Dress Up Darling. My Dress Up Darling. That's one. If you don't have that one on your list yet, and then
Yes, sir. I'm caught up to the dub currently.
You got that one? Cool. And then Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. That one.
I've seen that one. I have not actually touched it yet. I know of it. I know of it very well.
That was also really
Have
good.
you watched Ranma from back in the day?
No, I know that's a classic that I need to watch. Yeah.
They remade it. The remake's on Netflix. Extremely good remake as far as remakes goes. Yeah, highly recommend Ranma also.
Sure. All right. Well, let's not try to get sidetracked too much. We'll do a Degen Roundtable anime episode Shippuden if we have to. We'll include the time skip as well. All right. Speaking of anime,
bruh,
I remember making this one, and then I was like, "Is this good? I don't know if this is actually a good thumbnail or not."
Oh, it's the best thumbnail.
47th Amerikage.
Yeah.
Yes,
funny.
I know it's a deep reference, but it made me chuckle. So it got
number was that?
on the list. Gosh, that was let's see.
Episode 69.
No, episode 69.420 was Degens in Paris, which I also made that thumbnail as well. It was actually episode 69. This was episode 69. 69.420 was the planned one where we wanted to do special stuff. So we talked about meme coins and all the Degen stuff you could possibly get to. That was a fun episode. I think I tried making a setup so that I could deal blackjack live to you guys, but it just didn't quite work out. But we almost got there. True. All right, a few more. That's right. This is more of a recent one, but yep, Hulk Hogan and Ozzy Osbourne did pass away, unfortunately.
I'd pour a little out, so I'm gonna pour a little into my mouth. To Ozzy, to Hulk.
Ozzy and Hulk
True
Hogan,
American heroes.
And then I think this is the last one that I have for. Nope, it's not. This is one of the unseen thumbnails that never made it to live stream, and there's probably a good reason for it.
Oh my! I can't believe you gave Will Yugimoto's hair, bro.
Will needs hair.
You give the Pharaoh's hair. You gave it to Will.
I am the one who needs hair the most. Actually, Jay, I guess we could both use some hair.
That's why it's the funniest, is that anytime I have a chance to Photoshop hair onto Will, I will take the opportunity to do so.
Draw your last pathetic card, Kaiba.
Yeah, this one did not quite work out, but it almost did. And I think I used ChatGPT. I whipped ChatGPT into making something good. That took a while to get good, but it worked out well. Yeah,
this one is so good.
Yeah, shout out to the Everycoin team for coming on and doing the special guest episode with us. That was a blast, and I still have some packs in the mail coming my way. Ooh. So I'm excited to start doing some deck building. And if it's possible, and we could possibly play a game live on stream, I am here for it.
Right. I mean, I have not made a deck yet, but I have some cards.
There you go.
Oh, very nice.
The one clarification I want to get from Benny, is about deck building. On the website, they have like enough rules to make the game function, but the one thing that they don't actually cover is the deck building restrictions. They say you have to have a deck of 30 cards, but they don't say anything else.
They're all the same card. 30 cards with the same one.
I mean, Will, you're not wrong, which is like how many duplicates can you have? Does it have to be all singleton? Do you have to have a certain amount of each type of card, whether the meme coins, the rugs, or the actions? Like these are the questions we need answers to.
Yeah, you need some rules, man. You need some rules.
My deck is nothing but Exodia and Blue Eyes White Dragon. That's all that I have in my entire Yu-Gi-Oh deck. Just a whole bunch of Exodias.
That's fair.
He's got 3 copies of each piece of Exodia, and then it's just like every version of Blue Eyes White Dragon that ever came out.
My Exodia looks like fucking Goro from Mortal Kombat. He's got 7 arms, so he's working out.
Not to pull the total nerd cred thing here, but I do actually. My buddy wants friend from my good friend, he just wants to like throw some old Yu-Gi-Oh decks together. So I did pick up my own copy of Exodia and all the pieces as well.
Oh, very nice.
And
LOB originals, or the reprints?
Reprints, baby. The nice thing about if you play old school Yu-Gi-Oh formats, there's so many reprints now that you can pick up decks for like stupid cheap. Like I also got a little Cyber Dragon deck going on. That's Cyber End right there.
I see that. Yep, Cyber End Dragon. Yeah, I see that. I see you, Z. I see you. If you like Yu-Gi-Mons, we gotta play, bro. Because I don't know how much you've caught up, but there's like Goat and Edison format now because
Edison,
modern. Yeah, so it's super cool because it takes you back to when Yu-Gi-Oh was still fun and not when, if it's like a turn one, if you can't win in turn 1 or 2, then you basically lose. I love a lot of the new stuff that's coming out with Yu-Gi-Oh, but like I don't like games that end on turn 1. It's not fun, bro.
I hear you.
Well, that's
I hear you.
kind of what happened with Magic the Gathering, didn't it?
Not quite. Magic is just selling out and using IPs that were popular 5 years ago to sell current products.
Yeah.
So
It's working. It's working really well. Well,
Hey,
not
man.
everyone, but some
Hey
of them.
man, I really like a Final Fantasy release. I got the Tidus Commander, dude, and that thing's pretty cool.
Do I like the Final Fantasy Universes Beyond set? No, personally, it's not my flavor. Do I understand that was one of the best selling and best designed sets of all time? Yes, and I'm happy to tip the hat there. So like, are they doing good stuff? Yes. Am I confused that Universes Beyond is now in standard and a Spider-Man half set is a standard product now? Yes, that does confuse me beyond.
It's kind of odd. It really is. I don't disagree with you there. Like, it doesn't feel like Magic. It feels like unglued, but real cards are able to use. It's kind of
accurate.
Weird.
Very accurate.
All those old school Magic players.
That's true. Let's keep it going here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's right. We're doing a show, aren't we?
We are.
We're doing some crypto topics to talk about tonight, so stick around.
We do. Will, what is this episode?
I'm on my phone right now, bro, and I'm driving, so I can't really see it. But is it Salt at Fat Acid Heat? Right
Yes,
over there?
it is. Yes, sir.
That's the one where you were cooking, right? Where you've cooked a steak live on the air.
I cooked like 5 different steaks live on the air.
That's right. Yeah, that was a good show. For those of you guys that are unfamiliar with the Degen Roundtable Book Club, every Friday we do Degen Roundtable Book Club and we cover a really cool book. And somebody had recommended that we cover Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat. I want to say it was my brother Sam, because he was teaching me how to make steaks. And me and Zenith were like, yo, dude, like, this is a great book. And then Z was like, bro, I can fucking cook. And so Z did a cooking show while we covered the Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat book, which is a great book, by the way, for anybody that wants to learn the 4 principles, the 4 basic, easy principles of cooking. It's salt, it's fat, it's acid, and heat. And this book is by Samin Nosrat. She even has a little Netflix series about the same stuff, but super great book. And it was a good time, Zenith. That was a very good time indeed.
It was. During that one, this is the stream where I learned how to cook steak with the poivre sauce, which is a French cream and peppercorn based sauce. And you also add brandy. And as part of that is you have to boil off the alcohol in the brandy, aka flambe it pretty good. And there may or may not be a part in the stream where I definitely have set off my smoke alarm because there's a giant fire in my hand in a pan.
That's great.
Yeah. Alrighty, I got a few extra goodies here. These are some of the things that you may not have seen. Because these are some of the real deep edits that never made it to the light of day.
Oh, were you going through Canva or were you going through our YouTube thumbnail collection?
I went through Canva and I went through my personal collection of all the edits that did not make the light of day. This was one of them.
Bruh.
Oh man. EX.
Oh my God.
This is a deep meme for those people that get it. For those that don't, I apologize, but it's a good one.
That's good. Bro, you should see some of my thumbnail throwaways. Like I have almost no standards for thumbnails. Oh my God, what is this? Is that you? That's Uncle Z.
Yeah, it's Uncle Z with the tinfoil hat photoshopped onto the Star Wars poster where we were talking about doing a Phantom episode and we wanted to call it the Phantom Menace and have on a special guest there. Yeah, that one never saw the light of the day for good reason.
We never did this. Oh man, it's so perfect. That would have been great. I love this. I love this thumbnail.
But anything with your tinfoil hat is gold, so.
Yeah.
That's true. That was fun. It's
been a long time for Uncle Z. since Uncle Z has come out of his little tinfoil closet.
Yeah, with the oil stained Miller Lite tank top, wife beater thing, and the
Yep.
We'll see
Bro,
if he needs to come out for something come up.
I heard a quote from Sami the other day. I was watching Sami's stream, and it made me think of you. And he said, "I would rather wear a tinfoil hat than wear a tinfoil blindfold." And I was like, "Oh my god, that's fucking Uncle Z." I was like, "That's pretty fucking clever."
For the reference here, I made what was a 10-minute video breaking down the FTX scandal saga, and I did the first 4 minutes as like I put on a suit and tie, did the professional breakdown of everything that happened, and then I did a cut with like the changing channel static thing, and then flipped over to Uncle Z, the character with the tinfoil hat and the wife beater, and then we covered all the crazy juicy stuff that went on behind the scenes as well, and some of the tinfoil hat conspiracies. That was fun.
It was a good time.
All right. This is a shout out to one of our good buddies and good viewers, Centurion54X. We made him a little rap album cover. For those that don't know, this is a play on the 50 Cent album, Get Rich or Die Trying. So this is where he does get the nickname 54 Cent.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
And finally, this is one of my fails that never made it to the light of day because this is again for the Japanese yen carry trade. And this was a bit too much.
Dude, the Bitcoin meteor looks like meteor from Final Fantasy VII NGL.
There you go. Alrighty, that is it as far as the behind the scenes stuff goes. So I guess how about this? Here's a question for the panel, gentlemen. If you're going to recommend any potential viewers out there watching and if they want to live stream, what is it like, and what would you do or not do differently?
For like for people that want to live stream?
Yeah.
I would say first and foremost, stop thinking, just start doing, and then know that like your first like 3 to 6 months are going to be awful, but you still need to do it and go through it so that way you can learn and get better. Because most people, like they get about 10 or 20 episodes and then they quit and that's it. And then they're done. Like we were lucky enough to have a reoccurring like interest in it, and all of us wanted to keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it over and over and over again to the point where we built momentum and we actually started making cool products. So like I wouldn't recommend anyone go back and look at our first 30 episodes or so, because it's kind of cringe and silly and funny, but we got better and we did great and we pushed through it. So I would say that the people who are thinking about it, you just need to fucking start, man. And you're going to do terrible, and you need to give yourself permission to do terrible, because that's how you learn, that's how you get better, and that's how you like start building a momentum and stuff. So like start doing it and don't be a quitter. That's what I would recommend. Nothing like I got no like intellectual crazy awesome things to say like, oh, you need to go get a special account and buy this type of camera and blah. It's like, no, you just need to fucking start, man, because you can do it with your phone and a simple little StreamYard account, nothing crazy, and you just need to start, and that's all there is to it. Give yourself permission to fail and start, and that's it. That's all I got. What about you guys?
Yeah, I would say don't worry about your viewers, at least for a long time. Ensure that you're going to be consistent and dedicated. If you don't want to put in the work for a year, consistently every whatever your time frame is to make shows, once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week, then question what you're if you're serious about it or not, because one, it's not easy. It takes a lot of work behind the scenes to get things up and running. Even with us, we have anywhere from 3, 4, 5 people that help out on the shows, and it's still a lot of work, even if we're not doing it every single week individually. Will, I think, has been the most consistent the last 2 years.
By far. Yes, sir.
So, Will, thank you for holding down the fort when we have our busyness. But that's what it takes. It takes dedication, and it takes not wanting to grow quickly, because generally you don't. And so don't look at your followers. Look at, hey, am I putting out good quality content? I've heard from a lot of people that have said to us, you have one of the best shows that we have in crypto. We don't know how you don't have more followers, but we think that once the bull market really starts to tip, we'll start to see it. But we're here also to better ourselves. We started this to keep ourselves engaged and really hold ourselves accountable. So I don't think we necessarily have the best show.
Brendan,
But
I have an answer for that question, by the way, which is that I think we're pretty good at running the show, but by God, we are all terrible at marketing.
Oh man, hell yeah.
we do provide a lot of content. Look, like I said multiple times, we broke stories live on the first people to break stories live on the show, but we don't really use our X account, right? And that's where you drive a lot of crypto news, right? Crypto Twitter. That's where you find a lot of followers. But it's fine. We'll get there. I'm not worried about it. If it's another 2 years with 50 people watching, that's fine by me, because it's 50 people that we're helping, and that's what we're here for.
It's true. By the way, shout out to Crispy Man. He's in the comment section saying people will find value. And sir, we also want to say thank you so much, because you've definitely helped us grow and get exposure as well. So we haven't done that. I know we haven't done this individually. We did it as a team, and even beyond that, we've definitely gotten a lot of help from other folks out there, like Crispy Man himself, coming on the show, having us over there, just promoting us, shouting us out, just helping us make better content as well. So thank you guys so much for helping us out along the way. And by the way, we're not even close to done, baby. Not even close.
What is my wait, where's my what's mine say? Born in the bear, and we ain't fucking leaving.
We're leaving.
Like the Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, there you go. All right, Agent J, your turn. Is there anything that you would do or not do differently if you were encouraging someone to get into this space?
I actually think that Will said it pretty well there. I wholeheartedly agree with everything that he said. I saw this first in my coaching career in powerlifting. I've had some clients who they hired me for coaching services, but they never wanted to compete, and the reason was, I'll compete when I do X thing on the bar, right? When I squat this much, when I bench this much, when I deadlift this much, and I always told them, dude, you're never going to compete. You're never going to become good at the skill of competing until you actually compete. And it's the same thing here. You're never going to become competent at the skill of streaming until you actually start. For those of you who watch a lot of streamers, because we all exist on the internet, and we all exist on YouTube for the most part. I'm sure a lot of the streamers that you guys like and that you respect, when you hear their stories, they tell you a lot of the similar things. When they started, they were streaming to nobody, but they kept doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. Over time, they became more consistent, right? You build a foundation of skills, and then everything else just comes along the way. Or you don't need a fancy camera. You don't need a fancy microphone. You just need to start recording and then start doing. Like, I would actually, the only thing that I would disagree with Will on is I would actually encourage you, if you wanted to see like the transformation of the Degen Roundtable team from the very beginning to now, you're going to notice a stark difference in the way that we speak, in the way that we interact, and the way that we present content to you. Even though we're presenting a lot of the same content, right? It's the same crypto stuff, crypto news, crypto technical analysis, fundamental analysis. You'll notice a very distinct shift from where we started to where we are now. And that happened because we practiced the skill of streaming. We practiced the skill of speaking. We practiced the skill of interacting. And we're fortunate enough that we actually have a group of people that we bounce ideas off of each other, and we cover each other's bases in terms of the content creation stuff. You might not have that luxury, but you gotta work with what you have. So just do. The best way to develop a skill is to just do, right? Over and over and over and over and over again. And that's how you get good at things.
I like how Boogie and Twinkie started up their tacos and kimchi thing that they do. Because they were both sort of kind of streamers beforehand, but then they joined forces. Like, for real, I think that, you just find a couple people that you can get a schedule together with. And Z, I see you go on RH Max's show like pretty often. So like you've got a good relationship over there. Like Agent J, oh shoot. Agent J, you and Zenith and Tracker and Dace, you guys got a pretty good thing going on with the Walk the Block crew. It's like there's a lot of relationships that people can form, and you don't have to just be like a one-man stream team. I know that Josh, shout out to Josh, our original host on the Degen Roundtable. He got together with a couple of his army buddies, and they started a veterans podcast for a while, and they were doing that there on the side. Like there's a lot of there's a lot of cool things that folks can go out there and do. And so I would encourage people to go out there, give yourself permission to fail, and just start doing things, man.
Yeah,
I like it,
bro. And here's the thing: you gotta find something that you really like to speak about.
Yeah,
that is like your foundation. If you're going out there and streaming about something because you think that's what's going to catch fire, it might catch fire because you might get lucky, just like you might hit the lottery ticket, or you might hit 10,000x on a shit coin. But if you want longevity in the space, you have to find something that you're willing to talk about over and over and over again, no matter who's watching. Because otherwise you're going to get discouraged when you don't hit your metrics that you think you're supposed to hit. Right. One of like, if you go back to our initial streams, and we've spoken about here a few times, the reason why we do this, like the streaming stuff, is because we were already doing.
Oh no!
Oh no! Did he? I thought that I lost him.
It was me.
I lost him.
I thought it was me.
Oh, Jay, you're
is he
back.
back?
Jay,
Okay, you're back, Jay.
We missed the last bit there. Sorry.
Oh, I was just saying. I was just saying that we were already doing this to begin with, even without the cameras and the microphones on. So we just figured, hey, why not just share what we already love talking about together anyway, right? We met during a CMC. We liked each other's company. We vibed really well, right? We were just a bunch of friends hanging out talking about the crypto market, and we thought it was valuable because we were getting value from each other. And we just said, let's turn on the cameras and turn on the mic because other people might find value in it. Right? And the reason why we've been able to go so long, even though we've been through a lot of ups and downs, right, together as a team behind the background, right, that you guys might not necessarily see, right? The reason why we're still fucking here is because we kept the mission, right? We kept the goal. Shout out Alberto Nunez. The goal was to create valuable crypto content for each other, and we just happened to share it with the rest of y'all.
Yep, man, I remember the beginning too. You know, and it kind of started because we weren't getting the assistance and the mentorship that we had expected from a certain project and a certain launch. And rather than cry about it, we took it into our own hands and said, let's be responsible for our own decisions. Let's find people that challenge us, that build us up, that we trust, that bring new perspectives into my mission in my crypto investing, in life in general, right? This show's more about crypto, even though that's the base of it. And that's really what blossomed. It was us taking control rather than, crying that we weren't getting what we wanted.
Yeah.
Very true.
One thing, I want to ask you guys a question here, but Zenith, go ahead and go with your thought before I do.
Oh, I was gonna say it's my turn to do the do's and don'ts of become a live streamer. I mean, you guys mentioned it multiple times. You don't need the cameras, you don't need the mics to get up there and actually talk your piece. One of my favorite MMA YouTubers that I watch, his name is MMA Guru, and he is massive at this point. But the guy still streams from his basement with a crappy webcam because that is what the people have come to know and love. And the guy has a podcast with Mighty Mouse, one of the most famous and greatest MMA fighters out there. Yeah. But he still, at the end of the day, goes back to the basement with the webcam because that's what it's about.
Yeah, arguably the best pound for pound fighter in the history of MMA, Mighty Mouse. So
Mighty Mouse is cool as hell. Yeah.
For those of you guys that don't know, there's a good chance you might have seen one of the most famous highlight clips from MMA where he, in one motion, does a wrestling/judo throw and completes a flying armbar mount before his opponent hits the ground.
Yep.
Like literally in half a second, he goes from just grabbing a dude around the hip to having a finishing move that fast. The guy is just a stud. And by the way, if any of you guys ever want to learn how to make good YouTube thumbnails, go check out the podcast that they have. The one that just made me die laughing is that they photoshopped their faces onto the ET scene where the ET's in the bike and they're flying away. And that thing just made me absolutely die laughing. I want to say it's the Guru Cast. The Mighty Guru Cast is what it's called. I got to find this real quick. I'm sorry. I'm drawing the tangent here.
While you're finding that, Zenith, one of the I'll go ahead and oh shoot. Oh wait, no, you were changing screen.
There you
Gotcha.
go. We have the old Pulp Fiction. We got some the Job of the Hutt scene, but this one right here, they have Demetrius Johnson as the key character.
Bruh.
That's good.
I'm sorry. It's too good.
That's
Anyways,
awesome.
look, even if you look at me and you're like, Z looks like he might have something fancy. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, if you want, I will literally post the Amazon cart that I bought all this stuff in. This is a $30 microphone going into a $40 audio input held by a $20 crappy Amazon mic stand that I have broken multiple times now, but it still works. And I think I started off using, just like a generic 1080p webcam that I just got from a friend. And like, it works.
Yep.
Don't let the equipment keep you down. It is an absolute rabbit hole if you want to get down it. But like, seriously, you can reach out to any of us and we'll tell you like what we use if you're happy with what we do. The software is StreamYard. We use Canva for thumbnails, and I use GPT to create some terrible thumbnails. And if you want to ask about what the Photoshop tool that I use is to create those weird, wacky thumbnails, that's Microsoft PowerPoint, baby. That's right. I use Microsoft PowerPoint to make that stuff.
Layers
Bro,
upon layers.
I use MS Paint to make thumbnails, man. Like, I don't know what you're talking about with this Canva stuff. I have never figured out how to use Canva. I use Microsoft Paint, or I use Grok or ChatGPT to make my thumbnails. That's how in fact, I think that my very first time when I was like, I had to be producer, I had to be everything. I'm pretty sure I was like, oh shit. And then I opened up Paint. I wrote degenroundtable, drew a little smiley face, and screenshotted the whole screen with the Microsoft Paint thing and everything. And that was my first, pretty sure that was my first thumbnail.
That's correct. And Will also uses the most sophisticated technical analysis equipment out of all of us.
Man.
Oh, yes, I do. I do indeed. I have it. I keep it with me right here, as a matter of fact. Oh, no. It's on my chat shoutouts. Oh, I almost hit a traffic cone.
Speaking of.
Oh, yeah. We should do, we should talk to the folks at home. But here's my technical analysis. You know, it's just a wavy chart. Price goes up over time. There you guys go. Speaking of chat shoutouts, though, let's do some chat motherfucking shoutouts, boys and girls. And then I wanted to sort of kind of ask questions about the streaming difficulties and things to you guys. But if we want to transition to crypto stories and stuff afterwards, we can do that too. We've got the world is our oyster.
That's true. We'll do the old meta analysis of streaming and stuff for a little bit longer because we don't do it that often and it's fun. But at the same time, yes, we are going to do the full show. We got market, we got news, and we got updates. So let's get into the chat shoutouts, folks. Mr. Mix, aka Ja Soleil, saying Agent J just did 32 RH workouts in a row right there on stream.
Nice.
Again, nice treadmill, Agent J. Today he fried.
It's a great way to get your steps in, man. Anywhere between 8,000 to 10,000 steps a day is all you need. A lot less than most people think. So it's easily achievable, and even much easier if you have a very affordable walking treadmill that you could just slide underneath your desk.
That's true. By the way, Dace, also the walking treadmill guy right there. So you're not alone, good sir. All right, I might need to help with this one. Where'd this one come from? Today he fried.
That was way back. I don't remember what that was in relation to.
All right, well, whatever. Hey, here we go. Good buddy of all of ours, Mr. Moonpill, the Rational Optics.
I mean,
Will and I knew this guy from even before I joined Degen Roundtable, even before the fabled lost video of me and Will in a hotel room making a video in Vegas. Yes, we met Moonpill, Rational Optics, and he is a solid dude. Shout out to you and your wife, sir. Congratulations on the kid as well. You guys are absolute studs. Mr. Funkmaster Hex, I wonder who's hit the most likes or who's left the most cocktail comments.
Oh, I know that one.
Well,
I know that one.
I don't know about likes, but I know who's made the most cocktail
That would be this man right here.
Funkmaster Hex, as Will says, our very own Julian of the Degen Roundtable.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Gosh, I thought he had another one. Where did it go? I'll find it in a sec.
Are all of them.
I believe it's this one. He was saying, remember who was here first when you're famous. I don't know if we're ever going to be famous, good sir. We're just trying to do our best to help other folks like other people helped us. But hey, much appreciated. And if we do get there, believe me, your invitation to the party is already pre-written.
You know, even if we don't get famous, someday we will have a Degen Roundtable meetup, and we will have a bottle of whiskey waiting for you, good sir, and we hope you're there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Alrighty. Crispy Man. Will, what does that say?
Crispy Man's writing down the Cuatro Cinco 5555. I can't get it in the light just right from my.
You had it at the end
yeah.
there perfectly.
We started there last time, man.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Crispy Man.
Gentlemen, we gotta shape up. The best of the best is here. Tam is saying hello, my lovelies. Good to see you, ma'am, and welcome. By the way, she's still running. I believe it. Will, correct me if I'm wrong here. It is the Pulse Chain University Tuesdays on the Twitter Spaces at 9 p.m. Eastern time.
From 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Central. So whatever that, I think it's 7 p.m. Eastern time is when it starts.
7 p.m. Thank you. Yeah. Tam, please let us know. Go ahead and plug your stuff in the comments. We would love to shout you out. If you have anybody that's looking to get into the space, and in particular into the Pulse Chain side of the house, she's running an excellent program there. Tons of people are tuning in and also pitching in to help out. I know Festive Duel is a big guy that's helping out with that one. So shout out to all you guys making it work. There you go. We have Miss Flutterby83 saying this is a divine thing. The Knights of the Round Table.
Thank you.
Look, we do have a big cast of characters. We didn't get everybody on tonight, but it's a team effort for sure, and we appreciate the praise. But hey, what we're trying to do is figure out how to be investors ourselves, but also spread the wealth of the knowledge wherever we can. Diamond Hand Degenerate saying coming in here with the gang. Yes, sir. Hey, you got DJ in the name. You're part of the gang. Welcome.
Hell yeah.
I like that name, by the way. Diamond Hand Degenerate. That's
solid. That's good.
That's really good.
That's damn
Fuck
good.
Yeah.
Crispy saying people will find value. That they will, whether it's in the YouTube space or the crypto space. I think this holds true more than people believe. And that's one of the things that I personally look for when it comes to vetting crypto projects is always looking for value, not just attention and hype, but actual like value and good fundamentals. What do you guys think?
Yep.
Couldn't agree more.
People find value, and also people find what's marketed. So there's like a lesson. If you've got something valuable but you never market, then like it might die with you. You know, you got there is something to be said for you criticizing us earlier, Zenith, about like the Degen Roundtable not being very great at marketing. It's like I would say we're like bare minimum what we should be doing, and it's working okay. We're skating by. We've got really good metrics for what we are and what we've been doing and all that stuff. But if we step up our marketing game some way, somehow, when we find time, you know, because we're all working people, everybody on the Degen Roundtable, we all got like, you know, day jobs and shit. But like, if we're able to figure that other thing out, maybe we need to send out some Degen Roundtable LCD tablets. Maybe that's the next step, is just ship out Degen Roundtable LCD tablets to everybody in the States. And then now they all know that that we exist. But yeah, I agree. I do think Crispy Man hits the nail on the head. People do find value, and it helps when the value is marketed really well. If nobody knows about it, then, you know, nobody knows.
That's true. And by the way, folks, I have been
hold up. Coming from somebody who doesn't want to put ads on our shit, bro.
Yeah, I don't want to put.
Bro.
No, I don't want to put other people's ads on our stuff. I want to advertise ourselves. I don't want to be like Degen Roundtable brought to you by Gatorade. I think that shit's gay as hell, you know. But like, I think us sending out.
What do you have against electrolytes?
Well,
sir?
Okay, brought to you by it's not the electrolytes. It's the red dye number 5. It's the massive amounts of sugar and high fructose corn syrup and all that other crap.
Hey,
you know.
Don't you leave out yellow dye number 40? That's my favorite.
Yellow dye 40, all that stuff.
Hate crime.
I did a video with Dr. Alan Chen where I played the bad guy eating and drinking a whole bunch of unhealthy and whatever foods. And Alan walked up to me as Deadpool and he slapped it out of my hands and slapped me in the face. I don't know if I've shown you guys these videos, but I could
can, please find it, or the private chat. Tell me how I can find it, because we will play that. I want to.
Oh yeah. I will. I'll ask Alan if you're watching right now. If you could send that over to Zenith, those would be awesome. But yeah, there might be actually Zenith. If you go check out Dr. Allen's Instagram page at Your Health Unplugged, you might be able to find it there. What do we got from RH Max though?
Degen Roundtable brought to you by Solana.
Oh no!
Wait, where's that?
Oh,
Oh no.
Hey man, I made some good gains on Solana and rotated that to Pengu and made better gains. So
I don't
shout out-
disagree. I don't disagree that there's things that make money and we should use them. That is fine. But as far as like to your point, Jay, about us tying our image to some other like if people are watching our DGen Roundtable show and they're not paying for YouTube Premium, and all of a sudden it cuts out about diapers in the middle of us talking, like that would I would not like that. I would prefer that people watch us and not have to watch ads, and we do marketing a different way, other than like I don't mind us running DGen Roundtable ads in other places. I'm talking about like outbound marketing, not about other people trying to market their stuff by using our ability to capture attention. That's where I am kind of opposed to it, though. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
yeah,
Tell you what,
I was
Will.
fucking with you, bro.
Yeah, tell you
Okay.
what, Will. I take your point, and in this time, let's go ahead and run an oldie but goodie. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pulse Chain Tour Masters Golf Tournament 2024. Zenith is making his approach to the green on this sudden death playoff between himself and Reginald Gerald III, who already completed his putt for birdie. Zenith needs to make this putt right here in order for his dreams of winning that jacket to stay alive. Let's see what he does. Oh! Oh, he flubbed it! He missed! He whiffed! He's a loser! Loser! I repeat, RG3 wins! RG3 wins! Don't make mistakes like that guy. Get ready early. That's right. Don't make mistakes like that guy. Join the DGen Roundtable Telegram chat by scanning the QR code directly below Will.
Yeah, fucking do it, pussy.
Yeah, don't be a bitch.
Don't be a bitch. Join the DRT.
Scary kid.
There you go.
Oh,
RH
that's
Max
awesome.
says it's either Solana or Monsanto.
Monsanto.
You can only
Monsanto.
Why
Why can't we
Monsanto's.
put the soy and the corn in the same glass?
Hey, look, aren't they the same? One is genetically modified like corn and soy, and one is internet created soy.
Yeah, Monsanto's known for their corn, the high fructose corn syrup stuff. I love that stuff. It's so delicious.
And back in the day, well, Monsanto's not Monsanto anymore, by the way. I don't know.
What?
y'all
For
know
real?
that.
I didn't know that.
They were bought out by Bayer years ago.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh.
And my
Bro, you
my
wanna-
brother- my brother-in-law's he's one of the agricultural heads at Bayer in the United States. So he runs he has his PhD in bio crop engineering, pretty much. So
And corn.
he does
You guys
a
want to
lot
know some?
of corn. Yes, soybeans.
You guys want to know some
They do a lot of soybeans.
fun stuff?
Let's
Yes.
hear it.
Okay, so Monsanto produces Monsanto's the one that makes glyphosate, right?
I don't know. They don't exist anymore. They're bought out by Bayer. Like,
Oh, okay.
Years
All right.
ago.
Well, there's a company out there that makes glyphosate, which causes a very specific like lymph node disease, and then Bayer also makes the medicine that they sell to people to treat this very specific lymph node disease that is caused by the other product that they made. So I just thought it was a fun little
probably
full
accurate.
circle.
that probably
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, you covered the entire
Yep.
market. You sell the
Yeah,
poison
exactly.
at the same time.
You know, when I
100%.
was in college, I took a history and ethics of biotechnology course, and I wrote a paper on sort of the underhanded practices of Monsanto. And then my sister marries a guy that works for Monsanto. It was quite funny.
Monsanto was an American agrochemical and biotechnical company founded in 1901 and acquired by Bayer in 2018. The company became a major producer of genetically modified seeds and herbicide Roundup, but was also known for manufacturing controversial products like Agent Orange and in its involvement in the Nuclear Manhattan Project.
Sounds about right.
All right, good stuff.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
There were. I mean, there's a lot more that goes into them. AI is missing a lot of the meat and potatoes of why they had so many issues. But nonetheless, Bear bottom. I was right 7 years ago.
All right, tell you what, let's get back at it. By the way, one of you guys mentioned this earlier, as we got to do the DGen Roundtable tablet as the next thing for
LCD.
whatever we do. Yeah, well, here you go. By the way, here's an update. The Hex Pulse Chain tablets, we have one sold listing on eBay for $284.
Wow.
The
I bet
rare.
One
I
sold
bet
for
they bought it.
1,600. One sold for 1,600.
I don't I'll have to look and see. Ooh, this one, $300. There you go. That's not bad.
They got a bid. They got one bid for 300. Damn.
One bid for 300. That's
I'm telling you, one sold for 1,600. It already sold.
I gotta find that. If anyone has a link to
one
that
was on eBay. I don't know if it was eBay or another site, but similar.
If anyone has a link to that, please like DM it to us somehow, and we'll try to show it on the show. But as far as if you want to get your hands on one, that is not a hex tablet. We still have our offer for Quattro Synchro dollars. I was willing to make an offer for $55.55, but I've clearly been unsuccessful in my attempts. But we do appear to have one. There you go, $200 for a tablet device. Let's see what it's listed at. Is it new? Open box. All right, you can get an open box pulse chain tablet for potentially $200 if you buy it now. There is offers, so we'll see if it goes through. All right, outside of that, gentlemen, we still got to keep going here, and we are not even done yet. Up next, Miss Amber Simon. I'm sorry you have to follow the shenanigans here, but she does say, y'all have been life-changing for me, and I want to thank you, D-Gens, for being a valuable asset to my journey in life. Hey, we're very happy to be a part of it, and thank you so much for tuning in and supporting us. We really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, Amber's been in almost every episode for quite a while now, and hearing her story of growth, super happy to see that. Super happy that you're finding value in our show. So thanks for being a staple and always tuning in.
True. By the way, Will, where do we also see Miss Amber Simon a lot?
So she's also over in the Telegram, and you guys can find her stuff in the most of her story is inside the fitness section over in the Degen Roundtable Telegram, which you guys can get to by scanning this QR code right down here underneath my steering wheel.
But more importantly, Amber, I want to say thank you so much for supporting me and Will with all the book club stuff. You show up super consistently for it. You're an absolute stud. And I hope that we at least provide some entertainment and some education about the books along the way. But other than that, thank you so much for being a part of that. By the way, people have been a part of it. Mr. Hexglen, he's been here a long time as well. He says, good point, Jay. Do what you love and be authentic.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
sir.
Man. People can smell BS a mile away, and if they can't, eventually it's gonna start stinking, and they will smell it.
That's true. That's true. All right, we got a good amount of folks that have been here for a while. Up next, Will. Who's this?
I don't know, dude. I'm on my phone and I'm driving, man. I can't. It's like I got a tiny little screen.
Yes, but if I told you that his profile picture includes a ripped Pepe on the moon, who is that?
Oh, that's Chad Donnerschwanz, baby. That's our favorite fucking yoked bro on the moon.
That it is. He says,
hell yeah, Chad. Good to see you, broski.
Good to see you as well. Will, another good friend of yours. This guy posts a lot with emojis in his comments and has excellent commentary on everything that we do. Who is this?
I know I just described half of probably Moondog.
It is Moondog.
Moondog? Is it Moondog?
Yes, sir. He says serenity, courage, wisdom, rowdies. Well, I guess Will's going through a tunnel. Sorry, folks. Up next, good friend of ours and guy that has really helped us out a ton. That's RH Max.
I'm back, I think.
You're back, sir. We passed Moondog and we are on to RH Max. And next one, we got Mr. Smoothbrain, aka Boomstick. He says, "You guys bring the value. I appreciate your insights." We appreciate you, sir. Oh gosh. Zenith looks from RH Max. He says Zenith looks like he's taking us all on a road trip to Hexago tomorrow.
Yeah, Max. Actually, Zenith is wearing one of Zenith is actually wearing one of Boogie shirts. TBH.
Okay, you're right.
That's yes, for those of you guys that don't know, Boogie, if you ever get a chance to meet him live in person, he's a riot to hang out with for sure. Also a really insightful dude, but he's also always wearing a Hawaiian shirt. I've had this one since 2013. This is pre Coast Guard days for me, but it's a good one and it's hung out long enough. I got it in a thrift shop for about $1, so it works.
Very nice.
That's the best.
True. RH Max had said people would buy one of those tablets on eBay for $5,555. We are yet to see one of those bids, but there is one available. So, if there's a generous benefactor out there for someone, it's possible. It's possible. By the way, shout out to RH Max. He's a super awesome guy. Love hanging out with the guy in person. He's an absolute giant of a human being. I think I have a few photos of myself with him in Vegas, and he makes me look like I'm 5'2".
Oh, so he's like Twinkie?
Twinkie is also surprisingly tall, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's a fake Asian, man. Asians aren't supposed to be that tall, Twinkie. What are you doing?
And he's got some of them Yao Ming genes in him.
Got the Yao Ming genes, man.
By the way, RH Max had me on for a panel show where it was myself, Crispy, and Fast Abdul, and we're talking about the LCD tablets and pulse chain marketing that was going on. I want to say that was about 2-3 weeks ago. So if you go over to his channel, you can catch that one over there. It was a good time. It was a good time for sure. Hit me.
I found it. I found
it.
Let me know when you can see my screen.
Ooh, there
these
it
are
is.
all sold. So this is just eBay. I just put Hex Pulse Chain Tablet, and then I put filter to sold. So 284, 300, and like I said, this was the first, like one of the first ones. $1,600 that this tablet sold for. 63 bid, $1,600. It's insane.
That is wild.
That is great.
And by the way, folks, if you are in possession of one of these tablets, please send us a DM. I will be happy to pay you for it to an extent, but also hit up Nuclear Herbs on Twitter. I know he's also hunting for one, so I think his offer.
Want one.
That we do.
You know what's funny is that's actually going to make the marketing even better. Watching these things go like 300 to 1,500. Like I could probably just go get one made and then have it. And it would be cheaper.
Yeah.
At this point, it might be. It wouldn't be,
but it'd be cool.
All right, let's.
Hilarious.
We got to keep going here.
Yep.
Punkmaster Hex saying, "I think you guys are gonna pop off before the end of the year." You know, I would hope so too, but at the same time, I think that will also. Hey, cheers to it for sure. But I think it's also going to take some degree of marketing expertise or better marketing from our standpoint, which let's try to get going. Let's try to do that. By the way, he also has a good comment for you guys. Speaking of, what was it? Monsanto.
Right. Yeah.
Dozens of companies sell glyphosate, but the original patent was to Monsanto, who became Bayer. There you go.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. All right.
Yeah, it's
go for
funny
it,
that
please.
my brother just works for Bayer. He worked for Monsanto and they got bought out, and he's pretty high up in the crop division.
Excellent. All right. We got sorry, I'm trying to play producer and talk at the same time.
Because I like organic food. not like, real.
I hear you. All right. Last chat before we get back to it. RH Max saying, quote, "We used to take each other's money on the blockchain, and now eBay is the place to PvP."
Yep. That's so great.
That's good. Hey, Miss Amber Simon saying, "My pleasure. Love you guys. Always evolving, forever changing. The goal is to never stop learning and becoming the best version of ourselves daily." Hey, that's all of us right here, and we are right alongside you. So,
as I chug a bottle of champagne.
Yeah, maybe ignore that fact, but the point stands. I will say this much: I think we're all very much committed to that. I know Agent J over there, always a shredded, lean, mean machine himself. Mr. Will, always trying to.
I'm just vain, bro. I'm just vain.
You lift
it
works.
Bro, I always tell people the positive byproducts of health and fitness and nutrition. They're just fortunate byproducts, man. I'm just really, really, really vain.
There's nothing wrong with that. I think that's great.
You're so vain. You think this song is about you?
Yes, that's actually one of my favorite songs, precisely because of that reason.
Great song.
That song is definitely about me.
Oh my gosh. All right, we get a few more here. RH Max is saying, "You make my brain look like it's 5'2". Incorrect, sir. If there's anybody out there that streams the most, I think you're definitely in the competition for it.
By the way, did you watch his stream today?
I did not.
What was it about? It was
fire.
It was about, man, go watch it. First of all, it's really good, especially if you're in the Pulse Chain ecosystem. But back in August, middle of August, CryptoSolve, who's a blockchain tactician for Pulse Chain, he was paying attention to all of these 11 wallets that went through Tornado Cash and funded into Pulse Chain, and there's like millions of dollars that were funded 6 weeks ago, a little over 6 weeks ago, and that money is still sitting there. So there's millions of dollars that were brought in through Tornado Cash to 11 wallets, and that money is still sitting there waiting potentially to buy some coins at some point. So I thought it was a super good stream. I remember that tweet when CryptoSolve had tweeted it, and I had looked into it, but it was actually good information from Richard Hart Max that money is still sitting there, and it hasn't been bridged out, hasn't bought anything. It's sitting in Ethan stables mostly, and as always, Richard Hart Max, great stuff.
There you go. The stream in question, already 11 wallets, 1,100 Ethereum bridged into Pulse Chain. Game time? ? All right. Go check it out. Streamed 2 hours ago. You are on top of it. Good sir. And look, RH Max also likes to poke fun at my name because Zenith on Twitter and Instagram was already taken. So I had to go with zenithdi, which stands for digital investments. But he says that it's instead for distinguished investor.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got Funkmaster Hex. I don't want to sound evil, but I sell hundreds of thousands of liters of glyphos a year.
Ooh, there you go. Dun, da, da, da. Hey, the plants need their delicious drinks.
Yep. Yes, they do.
True. We have Moondog coming in. Monsanto and their seed patent lawfare makes organic exponentially more expensive through artificially induced scarcity and price fixing. But I digress.
Well, not only that, but even more than that, actually, the paper that I wrote in college had to do with how they would sell their seeds, and then in some cases, like they would use their seeds and they would pollinate other seeds through the air, and if other farms that were next door had strains of their patented seed, they would still sue them, even though they did nothing wrong.
Oh man, what a bunch of cocksuckers!
Yeah. Anyway,
Well,
I digress.
They went to do that. Animals.
If you guys want to learn some stuff about self-sustaining farming and whatnot, you guys can check out the Hex Guild. They used to be called the Hex Foodies, I think. But I know the Eco Builder, he does a lot of work on self-sustaining farms and stuff. Moondog is also an outstanding resource for if you want to start planting your own gardens and learning stuff about recurring plants that have good yield and good farming practices and stuff. These guys are there's some good folks and good resources. Dirage too, also Finbear. There's a bunch of cool hexkins that are really into sustainable homestead farming and things. So lots of cool people out there.
There you go. Alrighty. We have, I swear, one final one that keeps sneaking in, but this is a very important person to all of us, and that is none other than Mr. Fast Abdul himself. He says, as always, I'm here for the tech. And by the way, I do want to give a quick shout out to this guy because he is such a massive supporter of ours, and I don't ever want to let it go without being thanked. And to do so, by the way, if you don't know who this man is, he is the creator of the 2 Fucks protocol. This is a DEX that also has excellent staking involved, and he is also the creator of the Bribery protocol, where he wants to pay you he wants to bribe you for your voting share on the chain. So if you don't want to vote, you can sell your votes to other people, aka bribes, and that's how you get it done. By the way, Mr. Fast Abdul, if you have anything for us, please give us a hot take or some way or some interesting thing that you want people to know about, because we would love to shout you out here because you have just been an absolute stud and support of ours. Folks, I remember we were at the Pulse 369 conference, which is the annual Las Vegas conference every year. This man was up on stage, and I'm pretty sure he looked over at our own Nate, and he said, by the way, folks, Degen Roundtable puts out the most and best content for free than anyone else in the ecosystem. So I want to say thank you so much for that. You're an absolute stud, and happy to have you along for the journey, and we appreciate all the support.
Zenith, we actually missed one. So my apologies.
Oh, we did.
I did miss somebody, and my apologies, because he's a big fan of the show too. He's here a lot. Hexen Lost in Asia, and he says, yeah, shitcoin season might be coming to an end. So yes, great to see you, Hexen Lost in Asia. Thank you for showing us that we might have missed that. So appreciate everybody. Honestly, this show's more about all y'all than it is about us. So thank you.
Absolutely.
And
And
cheers
Zenith,
cheers to all y'all.
cheers to everybody. At Zenith, I did send you the video I was telling you about with Alan and I. There's a couple of them for you to choose from, but the best one is the very last one that I sent you on Telegram.
All right. I'll see if I can figure that one out.
Okey-doke.
In the meantime, though, that is
I
it
did-
for Go for it.
Well, I was just going to say, if that's it for chat shoutouts, I want to ask you guys the question that I'd sort of kind of alluded to earlier about streaming. Is it a good time?
Yes, sir.
All right, sweet. So one of the problems that I had in the early beginnings of stream was I had like a real big case of imposter syndrome, where I was like, man, nobody wants to fucking listen to me talk. I'm just gonna show up on stream and shut up and not say anything until like I hear something that's like a valuable question or something else. And then I think it was Josh reached out to me and said, hey, bro, like, you know, a lot of things, you should just start talking about them, and the things you don't know about, start learning about. So I would say, like, for the folks that are brand new at streaming, if you have imposter syndrome, just don't worry about it. And imposter syndrome is like where you think that you're not like worthy of other people's attention, or you shouldn't be on camera, or like the sort of things where people would like down talk themselves or get inside their own heads and not give themselves permission. That was something that I had to deal with early on in the streaming world. For the rest of the panel, did you guys have any issues that you noticed that you had to conquer, or problems that you dealt with early on in the streaming world that might be helpful to give other folks advice about?
The imposter syndrome thing, yes, definitely. But then I remembered something that Dr. Peterson said in one of his many lectures, and that is every single king started out as a jester, right? Like you can't risk becoming an expert without first making a fool out of yourself, because we all start out as fools. We all start out as having zero knowledge, and the only way that you accumulate knowledge is to actually go out and seek, and then the only way that you're going to get better is to go out and practice. So I know a lot of people, that's one of the big deterrents for them, right? It's like who cares what I have to say, right? Because there are other people who do this a lot better than we do, so why shouldn't they just go watch them instead of watching us, right? But nobody's omniscient. Only God is omniscient, and so even the streamers that you think are the best suited to deliver that message are going to miss some things that you're not going to miss. Right? You have to outsource your information to as many people as possible. And then if you actually love the thing that you're talking about, why don't you become one of those resources? Right. Shout out to my local pastor, Pastor John over here in Tempe at my church. He spoke about something very similar today. He was like, look, a lot of us have that kind of difficulty. But he said, look, if think about it this way, right? If the eyes thought that they weren't worth it because they don't do as good of a job as the ears did, who would see, right? If the ears thought that you didn't do as good of a job as the hands and feet did, who would hear, right? It's a very similar concept. You have something valuable to offer to the world. It's just a matter of actually looking and finding what that value is that you're going to provide, and then to actually have the courage and the bravery to go out and provide it. Right. So I know a lot of us, me included, and obviously Will, had that imposter syndrome in the beginning. But the only way that you're going to become a master at something is if you humble yourself to become the fool first.
Well said, sir. Well said. Brendan, what you got?
Got nothing. We good? You guys said a lot of really important things, and I said my little piece earlier, so.
Fair enough. Makes sense.
I got,
Will, what
I
you
got a little champagne. That's what I got. A little champagne. And by the way, I didn't chug the whole bottle. Still got like half of it left. Maybe less than half.
Yeah, we'll see about that at the end of the stream. I'm right
Well,
there.
Your race is
my
halfway
glass
ran.
doesn't hold as much as yours, Zenith.
We're only pouring a little bit at a time. Believe me, I'm not filling an entire solo cup of champagne. That'd be a bit much. All right, gentlemen, tell you what. I think it's time we actually do a show. Let's get into the markets a little bit. So
Yeah.
let's see what we got going on here. All righty. Bitcoin's sitting at $112,000 after coming off of a bit of a low, all the way down at 108,000 previously. So we are on day 27, now day 28 of our cycle, and we're still well below our 20 and 50-day moving average. I was hoping that the 20-day moving average would stay above our 50, but it looks like that is a little bit in question now because they are doing the old dueling dance of fates, if you will. But outside of that, the good news is we're still well above the 200-day moving average. So hear me out. We were talking about September traditionally being a red month. But if we go over and we flip on my nice little time frame that I made there, we are 2 days away from closing out the month effectively. And as it stands, we're actually a good chunk above where we started out. We're pretty much about $4,000, almost $5,000 about where we started. So do you guys think that this might actually be the time that we have a green September as opposed to a red one?
Yeah, chances are really good. And everybody thought August was going to be closing green because historically it closed green and it did not. It closed red this time. So a lot of things this time are different, especially during the post-halving year. So August, everybody was thinking it was going to be green. It turned out it closed red. Everybody thought that September historically during the post-halving year closes red, but now it looks like it's going to close green. So yeah, it's sitting a few percentage points above the monthly open. So absolutely, I think September has a very good chance of actually closing green for the post-halving year.
I like it. Right now, we're sitting 3.6% above. Anything less than 5% could pretty much be accounted to a daily swing or move for Bitcoin. So it's not guaranteed by any stretch of the imagination. But overall, when it comes to the structure that's going on here, I like what I'm seeing, which is that we did have the previous new all-time high back on the 14th of August, and we came down, and we got all the way down to $107,000 Bitcoin. And that was the start of our new 60-day cycle. And for the folks at home, if you don't remember, this 71-day cycle here that I have anyways, this is still hotly contested about what actually is the cycle. Did it start back here? Did it start here? Did it end on the 2nd of August? Did it end on the 1st of September? In reality, we're only going to...
I have an alternate cycle count actually ending in that August area. Right. So
do you?
Okay. Here, yep. Your count, and so I have two counts. One of my counts shares yours. The other one, the other count is ending in that, I think, mid to early August area.
Okay. So if we're going from the early August one, does that mean that the start of that cycle is also back a little bit, or is it still at this date right here?
Nope. I put it at that. I put it at that low right there.
All right. So mid-August would be the 3rd of August, am I right? Or early August, excuse me.
Yep. My birthday low.
Interesting. Okay, so if that's the case, then that would mean that based on that count, we're on day 57 of a cycle, and you are anticipating another cycle low to come in below 107,000. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I do have a bullish count. However, the structurally speaking, the move up does not look impulsive. It looks more corrective. Also, the drop down almost took the 886 out. So the primary scenario, which actually I went over this in the DRT stream, Telegram stream, also went over this walk the block. My primary scenario is we actually take out the low and make one more low heading into that the latter half of the 60-day cycle. Whether it's my count or Z's count, my primary scenario is that we actually take out the low, head down to the bull market support band. I think sitting currently at around like $106,000, and then we go up from there. But the good news is this move down, right, from our all-time high is corrective in nature. It looks corrective. It counts corrective. So that means we have at least one more all-time high in store for us during the Q4 of the post-halving year.
Interesting. So you're saying even if we have a bearish 60-day cycle, there's still definitely upside potential for the rest of whatever this bull market has to come.
I would not say definitely. I have a count that puts us at a completed 5-wave impulse for the entire 4-year cycle. So there's also that possibility that this that it could turn impulsive, this move down. However, from the structure that we have currently, this move down from all-time highs looks more corrective than it does impulsive. So which means we're getting another all-time high. Balance of probabilities.
Okay, I can understand that. Tell you what, let's pull up a corrective wave pattern here. So I'm just going to guess that it starts right here, hits our bottom, hits this top, and now we're looking for something like this.
Yes. I don't think it goes that low. I don't think it goes that low. Let me check my weekly
I can pull
chart
up your screen
here.
if you need.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and share my screen real quick. Share screen, Bitcoin, boom. Okay, so I'm just gonna stay here on the weekly chart, right, to kind of give you guys a high level overview. Let me turn on. Okay, let me turn off the RSI here real quickly. Let me turn on our moving averages. So you can see here the blue and the green, where we're currently finding support. That is your bull market support band. The bull market support band is made up of two moving averages, your 21-week EMA and then your 20-week simple moving average. You can see here, historically speaking, the Bitcoin has used the bull market support band as good support, like we found here, right, in early September, and now during this wick low here, found support again at that bull market support band. So if you want Bitcoin to hold, you want to hold that bull market support band, currently sitting at around $109,000 and $111,000. However, if we lose the bull market support band, the last line of defense, we spoke about this in a Telegram a few days ago with Benny, the 50-week moving average historically is the last line of defense for the bulls, currently sitting at 99,820. As long as we do not close consecutive weeks below the 50-week moving average, then we are good. You don't have to take my word for it. You can go out and put these moving averages on your chart, and you can track it historically. I would use the Coinbase or the Bitstamp chart because it has the longest history. Bitstamp probably has a longer history than Coinbase does. And historically speaking, if you have consecutive closes, weekly closes below your 50-week moving average, that is bear market territory, right? You don't have to take my word for it. Like I said, never trust, always verify. All right. In terms of where do I see price going down, if we do take the local lows, let me go ahead and turn on my volume weighted support here. All right. So big areas of confluence. You have the range, right? We are within the next range of support down here. All right. So that means the range point of control is going to serve as pretty nice support for price, 104,816. You have a monthly naked point of control at $104,010. So if we are going to lose the bull market support band and come down, you have a lot of volume weighted horizontal support here at around that $105,000. And then let me grab my VWAP here. Give me a second. Is that my VWAP? Yep. And you take the VWAP from the April lows, right? The mean volume weighted price for Bitcoin from the April lows is sitting right here at 105,970, right? So you have a chunk of price action that will serve as a magnet for the bulls to come in and buy a price right around that $104,000 to $106,000 level, right? So those are areas where I would place a bid for Bitcoin if we do take out the lows heading into the latter half of the 60-day cycle, which is the alternate count, or the middle of the 60-day cycle if you are going with Z's count. Right? So that is the TLDR for where I would significantly place bids on Bitcoin, or I would just, like, if you were going to blind long Bitcoin, wait for it to get down to those major areas of horizontal support, right? Those are volume-weighted areas of support, which are magnets, right? They are areas where the significant amount of trading volume occurs within the entirety of the Bitcoin market. So that's where you place your bids.
Very nice. Makes sense. Alrighty. So we did give you both the pretty much there was the bullish and bearish case on what we got going on with the charts, at least when it comes to Bitcoin. And the reason that we do that is because, well, Bitcoin leads the market, and a lot of other stuff is highly correlated to it. So again, our bearish scenario, is sitting at, correct me if I'm wrong here, Jay, but we're sitting at the 57-day cycle looking for a new low right around that 104, 105 area that you've identified that has a lot of volume associated with it.
Yes. And then take a look at the RSI right here on Z's chart, man. That RSI on the daily is oversold. So if we do make another low, my bet is we're going to get some bullish divergence on the RSI and price, right? You're going to make a lower low in price. You're going to make a higher high on RSI. RSI is significantly oversold. If you take a look at the fear and greed metric, fear and greed is hitting into like fear. I'm not sure if it's like super duper low fear area, right? But sentiment is low. Momentum is rock bottom. Price is going to try to make a new low. So this is a perfect opportunity, right? If we do sweep the current low, we are looking at around that $105,000 area to start placing our bids.
That's a good point too. The fear and greed index, I know it's sitting at 50 right now, but look at yesterday, 37. So if we go down and look at our chart here, put it on the 3-month, if you will, we hit all the way down to 28. That's pretty far away from where it should be theoretically in a bull market. So if anything, I mean, the analysis makes sense to me. And again, if we flip right back over to the chart, one of the things I was looking at is the RSI, this low that we had here. This was a low down at 36. Notably, this is lower than our previous low, and it's honestly lower than anything that we've had in a hot minute since all the way back in April, after we had the great tariff scare, if you will. So RSI, it's only one of the many tools that we use, but at the same time, it is a decent indicator about the things that could potentially come. So if we only dipped all the way down to 107,000, but the RSI dipped lower than anything that we've had since April, that's kind of an indicator that people fear that the market is going to keep going a little bit lower.
Well, and even if it does, right? So if, for example, in this particular case, if we do not sweep the low and this does turn impulsive, you have a higher low on price, lower low on the RSI. That's a hidden bullish divergence. All right. So even here, you have hidden bullish divergence already forming on the chart. So it could go either way, but either way, my bet is you're going to get some kind of bullish divergence here in the daily chart, whether we sweep the low or not.
Makes sense to me. Tell you what, let's go ahead and flip over to another asset that people are watching very closely. That's another Ethereum. So similar, we had Ethereum make a low here at about $3,800. One of the things that we've talked about previously is that 3850 level has been a notorious level of resistance to get through, and it appears it might be somewhat flipped into support. But at the same time, if that bearish case does come true, then would it be reasonable to think that we could see Ethereum below 3,800 when that happens?
Yes. My primary target areas for Ethereum to place a bid is between 35 and 3,600.
Interesting. Why do you say 35 and 36?
35 bull market support band for Ethereum is around 35 and 3,600. And then again, volume weighted areas of support for Ethereum. Let me go ahead and share my chart here real quick so people can have a visual. Here is ETH. All right. So here, once again, on the weekly chart, the 21 EMA is the green, 20-week simple moving average for the weekly is the blue. So you can see here between 35.53, 36.89. That's currently your bull market support band. If we jump over here and take a look at our volume weighted areas of support, look at that, how beautiful that is for Ethereum, right? You have a weekly naked point of control at 36.89, a range point of control where we're currently trying to find support. This is the prior range where we're currently entering. You have a range point of control at 36.46. And then if you go lower, right, you go lower to the 20-week SMA, you could see the daily naked point of control here, very close to where the range lows are, sitting at 34.90. So just like with Bitcoin, you have a chunk of price action, right? You have a chunk of volume weighted areas of support along with the bull market support band right there for Ethereum. So just like with Bitcoin, if I were going to place a blind bid on Ethereum, it would be anywhere between 3,500 and 3,700. Let me go ahead and do the same for Ethereum here. Let's take our VWAP. Okay, boom. There it is, right? Beautiful, 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 beautiful. So for Ethereum, how many standard deviations do I have here for Ethereum? 1, 2, 3. So the mean average price for Ethereum from the April lows currently sitting at 31.45. I don't think Ethereum goes down that low, but anything can happen. In my personal opinion, Ethereum is looking a lot healthier than Bitcoin currently, especially during, like, Ethereum could have, like, you could have an argument for Ethereum that this corrective structure is over and we are going to turn impulsive, right? So I don't think we get down here to the 50-week simple moving average currently at 3,000 for Ethereum. I would not like Ethereum to lose this prior range of support, because if you can see here on the weekly, it's very obvious, right, that If we lose the range lows at 33.54, right, you have a large gap here on the weekly that needs to be filled for Ethereum, right? This is your weekly gap right here, right? And that's a very big range where you've got nothing. Between 3,000 and 35.50 is that weekly gap. So you do not want Ethereum to lose the range lows right here at 33.34. Structurally speaking, I think Ethereum looks stronger even during this correction. So I'm going to place bids around $3,500 to $3,700 for Ethereum personally, right? We took a lot of profits during the August run-up. Me and Tracker took profits between 45 and 45 and 4,700. Those stables they're just sitting in Coinbase, and Coinbase actually has a nice yield on stables, so they've been sitting there just accumulating yield as stables, and they will be deployed if we get down to those levels. If not, and the price just keeps running, well, that's okay too, right? Took some profits. Don't ever be ashamed that you took profits, because there is still a big bag of Ethereum left. I only took profits at about like 20-30% of the bag or so.
Makes sense. All right, we do have the question of the hour, at least when it comes to the TA standpoint, from none other than Crispy himself. He says, in his opinion, no signs of a blow off top at this time. Could happen, but need at least a few months for that to happen. So this is one of those things that we've been trying to follow here at the Degen Roundtable, which is that there's been a lot of chatter, especially from all the clips we've shown over the last few months, which is that people are believing that we are going to go into an extended cycle. So what maybe are some indicators that could possibly happen? And is there even a case against it?
If there's a case against it, it is historical tops. Tops are a little bit harder to time, but historically speaking, they've occurred Q4 of the post-halving year. So there's an argument for that, but we literally have 4 data points. So it's not exactly a lot of data points. That's number one. If I were to argue for it, if Trump gets everything that he wants, and you have and he injects his own guy into the Fed, and that guy starts QE heavily. Remember, this is, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is like the first time in since crypto's inception, since Bitcoin inception, that we are getting potentially monetary easing policies, or at the very least start getting more aggressive with the rate cutting cycle at the tail end of a post-halving year. If that happens and it bleeds into aggressive QE into the very start of 2026, and money printing happens then, I don't see any reason why we can't have an extended cycle. But like you and I have always spoken about, we don't assume that a pattern break until it does. So until it actually freaking does, I'm going to be taking a lot of profits at the very tail end of Q4 this year.
That makes sense. And by the way, for the folks that missed last week's show, Will and I covered the press conference for the Federal Reserve meeting that happened. One of the things notably is that, did we get rate cuts? Yes, we got a 1/4 point rate cut. But did we necessarily get quantitative easing? The answer on that is no. The reason being is that answer comes from the balance sheet that the Federal Reserve holds. So they're still selling off some of their assets instead of buying up assets, which would be an injection of capital. So step 1, rate cuts. Yes, that did happen. Step 2, quantitative easing. Not there yet.
Or at least stopping the runoff, right? Because like you said, they are still reducing the size of their balance sheet by nature QT, like by definition QT. So until they stop reducing that runoff, at least stop it, right? Like we're gonna start reinvesting back again, right? In that case, it's QE start. At the very minimum, we can't just have the rate cut starting, right? They have to stop reducing they have to actually stop the runoff on the balance sheet, right? So those are the two things that we're keeping an eye on first and foremost.
That's true. By the way, speaking of what the expectations are here, Brendan, do you have any intel on what the people are feeling for the next few rate cuts going on?
Well, I have some thoughts. Yes, good sir. The people are feeling like we're going to get some more cuts coming up in the next couple meetings from the Fed. So we have 2 more meetings by the end of the year. We have one coming up end of next month. Correct me if I'm wrong, and then one in December.
Yes,
So
sir.
we have two
October
more.
30th and December 13th, I want to say.
We have 2 more, and I actually haven't looked at FedWatch or Polymarket in the last week. But the last time I looked, it was still like 90% cut. We were going to get a 25% basis cut in November, and then it was like 70%. End of October, and then like 70% in December. So let's see if that's still accurate.
That would appear to be the case. So, by the way, folks, one of the main tools we use for this stuff is the FedWatch tool by the CME Group. They watch the futures markets for bonds to anticipate what they think are going to be the next rate cuts. So, our next cut is happening on, why are you not showing?
October 29th.
I know it's not going for me. Oh, I guess this is rate cuts for October 29th. Interesting.
It's messed up, yeah.
All right, so we are at 4.0 to 4.25. So as it stands, the future markets have it that there's an 89% chance that we're going to get a 1/4 point rate cut for the next meeting. And if we flip over to December, we have a 66% chance that we're going to get a consecutive cut by then.
So that's pretty good. I mean, I always said one cut's not going to do a lot. It's going to take multiple cuts for us to really start to see a difference. And look, there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of information that will have come out, and we'll see. Look, the last numbers for the CPI and the PPI looked really good. And if that continues, again, especially in this, we're talking about end of summer numbers. End of summer sometimes can be a little bit hotter. And so for that those numbers to look good and kind of look like PPI was a one bad reading the time before. So I don't know. Things are pointing positively there. Also, let's not forget GDP growth was the highest it's been in quite some time. The last numbers that just launched. So GDP, that's good, right? But is it say, hey, maybe I don't need to cut rates as much? But I think the biggest thing is the job market. Job market has been very bad, and all of the numbers were so wrong that it's wild. I was saying it for months, by the way. While the numbers looked like they were good, I was saying there's no way that these numbers are good because you look at all of the underlying numbers and they're telling a completely different story. And once they started to look at those numbers and they started to go back and say, okay, yeah, we were wrong by way more than anyone ever anticipated, then yes, DGen Roundtable had that. We had that. So we'll see. I think we're going to get cuts. I don't think I trust Jerome Powell in where we are right now. I think Jerome was amazing, honestly, during sort of status quo. He's really seeming not good at making changes. So he was late to raise rates, and I think he's late to cut rates. And so we'll see. He seems a little bit worried, and we'll see how long he's at the head of the Fed, if that's a thing or not. But generally speaking, overall, we'll get more rate cuts. So M2 money supply is going to increase. In fact, Donald Trump Jr. today talked about how good of a time it was to buy the dips in the crypto markets. So does he know something that we don't know?
Maybe not.
Last time he said buy ETH, it nosedove, but then it came back. So
yeah, that's fair. Tell you what, we do have one news article that we want to pull up today while we're at it. So, Brendan, I know you just finished talking, but I got another question for you here. What is this, sir?
Oh, man. This is actually one of the funniest articles that I have seen because XRP has been holding their hat for years now about how they are going to be the blockchain that the banking system chooses to build their payments on. And so Swift is the largest banking
Cartel?
No, they're painted. I mean, well, actually, it's probably a pretty way to say it. But they're the ones that actually settle payments for the banking system. And so forever, the XRP bros said, oh, yeah, the deal's already done. Swift is being built on XRP, going to use XRP. And then it comes out this week that Swift is not going to be using XRP. And so the banking system has chosen Ethereum stablecoins. Honestly, I thought this was the biggest news that we've had probably this month. Crypto news has been a little bit quieter, and I thought that this one was really big. So I'm not here to dunk on any XRP bros. Look, XRP has been one of the best performing, main coins this cycle. So props to the people that held for a long time. But this was one of the things that they were hanging their hat on, right? That, hey, all of the banking system is going to go through payments using XRP. Swift is going to be built on XRP. And that does not seem to be the case.
That's true. Tell you what, let's
Sad
get into
trombone. Womp, 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 womp.
All right, let's get into it a little bit here. Swift, the backbone of global financial messaging, has begun testing on-chain payments and messaging using Ethereum's Layer 2 network, Linea, in a move that signals deeper integration between traditional finance and blockchain. According to the report, the project involves more than a dozen global banks, including BNP Paribas and BNY Milan, and is exploring the use of a stablecoin-like token for settlement. The trial marks a significant step for Swift, which connects over 11,000 financial institutions and processes billions, with a B, billions of messages annually. Traditionally, Swift has functioned as a secure messaging service that transmits payments instructions between banks.
Yes, it doesn't actually take the money. It just settles the payments.
That's true. Here we go. A little bit lower. Notably, Linea was selected for its ZK rollup technology, which provides low-cost, high-throughput transactions while retaining Ethereum's security. Its design also emphasizes private data privacy. Stand by. No, I think I went. Its design also emphasizes data privacy through advanced cryptographic proofs, a feature seen as essential for banks navigating strict compliance requirements. The experiment could take several months to materialize, but industry participants say it represents a major technological step forward in the interbank sector. Well, there you go. I guess we're shifting away from XRP to Ethereum. Are we surprised by this, especially everything that's been coming out about stable coins and Ethereum having the most stable coins?
I'm not
really
super surprised personally. Sorry, Will, go ahead.
I was just going to say, not really. All that XRP was and wanted to be from like a technical standpoint as far as payment solution is, you buy XRP over here, you sell it over there, congratulations, your balance is achieved. It's not like incredible, crazy technology. And Ethereum's been building and building and building, and XRP's just kind of sat there. But Brendan, go ahead and take it, because that's my very peanut brain understanding.
I was just gonna say, Moondog actually has a good comment. Before I talk, we'll read this. So Moondog says, "Sucks for XRP bros that they suckled up to the bankers and still got snubbed. Even sadder for Ethereum culturally, because it confirms that they're the literal sellout, especially on the heels of the Genius Act." I don't know if I would say they've sold out. I would just say that they've been chosen by the banking system. So take that for May. Is it as decentralized as you would hope? Maybe not. But nonetheless, I think it's less surprising because of all of the stable coins and all the financial systems being built on Ethereum. It just seems that anybody that wants to build is choosing Ethereum. And hopefully Ethereum gets so busy that they're going to need a forked chain to take some of that traffic. But, but nonetheless, look, if you asked me years ago, would it be surprising? I would never say it's surprising. I think it's less surprising now, just because of how many institutions have chosen Ethereum, how much clarity they have from just a government standpoint. I think that it makes sense, and I've said for a while now, it seems like everybody wants to build on Ethereum, and that this seems to be a continued case.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
This isn't anything. It's not to say that there's anything bad about XRP, like the token or the community. All that this is this was the one campfire story that everyone just kept repeating for a long period of time. So this was like the main thesis of the XRP's existence, was like, hey guys, we're going to be the banking solution for the world. And like, that campfire story has been disproven, and there's a different route that's happening now. It's not to say that the community is bad people. I will say that Ripple, the company, is not good people, because they just keep minting new XRP and dumping it on the community. But like, the story that they were gunning for, the primary purpose that they wanted the token to be and to stand for, is just like that story is kaput. It doesn't work anymore.
You
Yeah,
know,
well-
Will, you're saying that XRP may not be good people for minting and dumping on people. Do you have any thoughts on the Ethereum Foundation?
Oh, you know, so they kind of, well, so Ethereum doesn't mint Ethereum in the same way as I think that XRP stakes it or something. I don't know if the Ethereum Foundation has their Ethereum staked, but I do know that the Ethereum Foundation historically has marked the top of a lot of like the Ethereum charts. Like when the Ethereum Foundation starts selling, that's when the market starts tanking. At least in the last 2 cycles, if I remember correctly. I'm not terribly familiar with this, but the Ethereum Foundation is like not a whole lot better than Ripple. I just know that like as far as the campfire stories and stuff goes for Ripple, I don't know. They haven't been like producing as much tech or as much progress and stuff as I would say the Ethereum Foundation. But you're absolutely right. That is a comparable activity that they both engage in. See, Agent J, it sounded like you had a thought there.
In relation to Ethereum taking the Swift partnership from XRP, if that is the case, that they are going to take that partnership with them for stablecoin settlement, it's not surprising to me. One, because Ethereum's the one with the blessing of traditional finance. There are XRP ETFs along the way, that's for sure, but it was Bitcoin and Ethereum that got the blessing first. And you're not going to be settling stablecoins on Bitcoin. Sorry, right? If you're going to do it on something, it's going to be Ethereum. And the only reason Ethereum is getting the bid now is because it's got the blessing of the institutions. If it was XRP that got out with an ETF first, I guarantee you they'd be looking at XRP. If it was Tron that got the freaking blessing first, it would be Tron because more stable coins exist on Tron than it does on Ethereum. Okay, so if you're just talking about daily stablecoin volume, you're probably going to choose Tron over Ethereum, but Ethereum is the one that got the blessing, right? So they're the ones that's going to take the lion's share of the partnerships, and if they take the partnership with Swift away from XRP, well then sorry, man. The winners get to pick first.
It's true. The only caveat I might have to the statement you just made there, which is that yes, does Tron have more stablecoin volume? Yeah, by the numbers it does, but is there a bit of a barrier to getting into Tron, namely the language? Jay, what language do Tron users mostly speak?
Oh, it's my uncle Justin's sons. They're the Chinese.
That's true.
Tron is a proxy for Chinese money, bro. Come on now.
Yeah. So, like, look, is the Tron network massive? Yes. Are any of us massively involved in Tron? I would argue it's no. And the answer to that is we don't speak the language, so we don't entirely understand what's going on over there. So it's very hard for us to deal with that kind of technology. When it comes to where the major player for crypto is in the space, China is a major competitor, far and away, because they're one of the major Bitcoin miners, largely due to the fact that they can create electricity cheaply, aka the thing that powers miners, which Bitcoin really needs, as the difficulty is hitting all-time highs, as it has done for the pretty much the last 2 years. So there's a good chunk of the market that's kind of like cordoned off from the Tron network, but at the same time, English speaking is also a similar factor as well. But the thing that I would posit is that if you had to put the two to a test, are there more English speakers or Chinese speakers in the world? I think the answer is English speakers, largely due to a lot of the world using English as the international language of business, but also at the same time, a lot of countries are bilingual. As it stands right now, I think the U.S. is really becoming a major player in the crypto space, largely due to everything that's been going on here in the homeland, but also due to the way that the current administration has really brought it into the fold so that it allows people to do what they can with crypto. We're not there yet, but I'm just saying, if you have two chains that are separated by language barriers, one of them will come out ahead. And personally, I happen to think that any English-speaking chain is going to be the one that kind of comes out ahead. Tell me if I'm crazy.
Makes perfect sense to me, man.
I will say that I have bias towards my own thing. in almost every respect to everything that exists.
That's fair. Thank you.
Sorry. I will also
Brendan,
say
go for it.
it's interesting because Swift chose Ethereum and Linnea partially because of some of the privacy protocols that Ethereum are built on. One of the things XRP is missing is privacy protocols, right? They were built in theory for the banking system, right? But and they sucked up to them, and so they didn't build, privacy layers. It's funny that Swift is choosing Ethereum, or part of the reason they're choosing Ethereum is because of the ZK rollup privacy layers that are integrated within it. So I think that's actually very funny and a big miss from XRP, something that they did not expect.
Yeah. It's like the banks want to keep their money secrets, just like we want to keep our money secrets. I don't want you guys knowing how much money's in my bank account. Like I don't want my
$72.43.
I don't want my customers of like if I'm running a business. Oh, what's that?
The rest of it's all in Hex Cuatro Cincos.
There you go. But like privacy with money and transactions that's a really important thing. And it is like as much fun as I like to make of the banks, like they want the same thing that I want. They want privacy. They don't want people to know how much money they're sending from one person to another. That's like a really reasonable thing. Like the wealthiest people in the world, we don't know who they are because they don't publicize their names and things. Like we know of the publicly wealthy people like Elon Musk and the president of Russia, Vladimir Putin, and Donald Trump, and Bill Gates, and all those people. We know of those dudes because they're public figures, but like really the wealthiest people in the world, the Arab sheikhs, you don't know who they are. The families that are from like the Red Shield zone, like we kind of know who they are, but you really don't know who the individuals are. Like privacy with transactions is super important. And so I do think I agree with you, Brendan. It's pretty funny that like the guys who are kissing up to the banks and trying to build something for them didn't include one of the most important things that has to do with like financial transactions. And so they were not chosen. And I'm no big fan of the traditional finance system, but it is funny how there's like now a pin in the main campfire story for XRP.
That's true. Tell you what, gentlemen, I have one final article to dovetail into this. We don't have time to go into the full detail, but we're just talking about people are talking about getting to Ethereum instead. Well, we have a news article here that says Google shakes up cryptocurrency, digital payments with AI agents protocol. Google parent Alphabet is shaking up digital payments and emerging artificial intelligence-based shopping applications with a new AI agent technology. Many tech companies are focused on autonomous, goal-driven AI agents that complete tasks on their own. One of the biggest applications is expected to be online shopping on the behalf of consumers. Get out of here, you terrible website. They just announced last week a new agent payment protocol, the AP2, developed with 60 industries partnering, including MasterCard, American Express, and PayPal. Further, AP2 is designed to address authorization, authentication, and accountability in agentic payments in providing secure commerce for AI agents that it's backed up by cryptographically signed digital contracts. So the reason I'm bringing up this article is that Google is making a play that's actually enabling AI agents to use cryptocurrency to make payments for whatever process they are doing. So we just covered the article that's saying banks are starting to use Ethereum-based protocols. So if you had to guess, what network do you think Google is going to be enabling their AI agents to use?
Not XRP.
It ain't
yes,
Cardano.
correct.
It's not Cardano. It's probably Cardano.
It's not Bitcoin. It's not Litecoin.
All in on Cardano, bro.
Yeah.
That's true. Here you go. I'll go a little more into it. Quote, from a technological standpoint, AP2 is an open shared protocol that provides a common language for transactions. Yardeni in a report said, Google says the system will support various payment methods, including credit cards and debit cards, stable coins, and real-time bank transfers. So, gentlemen, where's Google located?
India.
Contrary to Will's belief, the call centers may be in India, but it's based out of the U.S. So
the CEO is Indian.
Oh, he's definitely Indian.
That's true. That's true. But the U.S. did just pass a recent bill called the Genius Act, which really authorized stablecoin payments. And, well, where is USDC and USDT mostly hosted network-wise?
In the U.S. of FNA.
It's true, but on the network, the answer is Ethereum.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
There you go.
Yep. It's Ethereum, man.
You can need to ask better questions, Zenith.
Hey, that's fair. That's on me. That's on me. But the reason that I brought up this article in conjunction with the one that Brendan posed is that it looks like people are playing around with the idea of Ethereum. Ethereum is establishing itself as one of the largest networks when it comes to stablecoins. And for the layman or the average person out there, if you don't want to get into crypto, you kind of want your $1 to always be worth $1. Therefore, if you peg it to the US dollar, that makes the most sense. And it seems that Ethereum, in my opinion, is really on the ball when it comes to that. So, in my opinion, everything's kind of pointing towards Ethereum. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong here, but that's what I'm seeing in the news headlines.
Yeah, bro. Shout out Ethereum, but Vitalik, let's go ahead and scale the L1. All right, let's get off the L2. Okay, congratulations to Linea, and the consensus team for making that happen. Rugging XRP with the Swift partnership, if that is true. But let's scale the L1, bro. Let's scale the L1. What's good for the L1 is good for everybody else below Ethereum. Okay, because if you get the majority of the stablecoin transactions settling on Ethereum and they're partnering with Swift, right? Guess what? You're still going to have to pay the fees in ETH, which means you're actually going to ramp up the buy and burn for ETH, and then which also means that you're going to increase the deflationary aspect of Ethereum, so you can actually fulfill the promise of ultrasound money and not just talk about it, right? Actually be about it. So Vitalik, let's go, man. Scale the freaking L1s. Get off these damn L2s, bro.
Yep.
That is an excellent point. I mean, we've covered the L2 issue for a while here, which is that people were hoping Ethereum would be burning more, meaning limited supply, aka upside potential when it comes to price. But we have not seen that really when it comes to the 2 years of price action that's been going on. If anything, I would argue that the Ethereum price spike the dump was largely caused by shorting of Ethereum, but the price spike was caused by people trying to become the next Michael Saylor. They couldn't do it with Bitcoin, so they looked at number 2, which was Ethereum. So yeah, I'm looking at you, Bitmine and SharpLink Gaming. Thank you for buying up the supply and trying to stake as much of it as you possibly can. You most definitely have been pumping the bags of a lot of people out here. So you know what? Right to you. Thank you.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
Absolutely. Alrighty, gentlemen. Well, we are a little bit over time, so apologies to everybody. I was hoping for a 2-hour show, but we're going a little bit longer. I want to pose the final question to you guys as we get out of here. So, in addition to the usual, what are you up to? Where can folks find you? Where do you think we're going to be, or what do you think we're going to be talking about at episode 200? Mr. Will Stevenson, you were up first.
I will say for the folks at home that want to find me, you can find all my socials based off of will.pls.fyi. As far as where am I going, what am I doing, I'm headed to Huntington, West Virginia to go do some tower stuff. And then I don't know where I'm going after that. And for your question as to what are we going to be talking about on the DGen Roundtable episode 200, something tells me it's going to be a lot of the same, but with higher prices. So we'll see. We shall see. We shall see. It took us 2 years to get here. So I would like to see the bear market of the coming cycle have higher prices than what we have right now. I think that'd be really cool. And that's what I think we'll be talking about. Maybe the Hex marketing will have moved from tablets onto flat screen TVs, or maybe Justin's son will have changed all of the code on Tron to be in Swahili instead of Chinese. I'm not sure exactly what's going. Hey, maybe XRP will be $4 by then. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows?
Well, I'll tell you what. If we continue at the current pace we're going, that means roughly about 50 episodes a year. So we're looking at September of 2027.
Yep.
But are you talking about just Hex and Pulse Chain, Will, or are you talking about the entire crypto market?
I would like to see everything up.
True.
But
so
especially the things that I have.
So I'll tell you what, we'll interrupt you to toss it to Agent J there. So you and I talk about 4-year cycle, and at its best, it's most reliable when it comes to low. So when are we expecting the next bear market low when it comes to that 4-year cycle?
November 2026.
All right. So we got a full year after that. Will, where do you think we're going to be a year after that? US dollars dead? Only USDT?
Ooh, that's a good thesis. That's an interesting thesis. We're all in CBDCs, baby. Hey, if anyone's going to be the CBDC, I would put my money on Tether.
Yeah,
I don't think Skycoin's going to make it.
That's true. Tell you what, I will interrupt you real quick. Good sir, do you have the sign?
Oh, I do have the sign. It is time for some chat motherfucking shout-outs, ladies and germs.
I know, I'm throwing everybody off here. Sorry, I'm in the producer chair, and apparently I'm a half a bottle of champagne deep. But we'll try to do our best. All right. Mr. Ray came in here and says, everything is delayed currently. Well, time is yet to tell whether everything is delayed, but I'll tell you this much. It definitely feels like it. And if you go check the pulse on Twitter, it definitely looks like it as well. Whether it's people talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum price not being where they thought it would be, or the altcoin season not being where they thought it would be based on the metrics, that's definitely true. Up next, we got Funkmaster Hex coming in here saying, feels like I've been waiting, quote unquote, a few months now to make money for 4 years, but I really do think we're a few months away. And of course, he gives a cheers.
Sure. Funkmaster, if this is your first 4-year cycle, you know how you avoid that? You know how you avoid that sentiment that I've been waiting a few months to make money? Stick to primarily Bitcoin, sir.
Oh, well said. By the way, folks, I know we're a little bit late on this one, but nothing said here at the Degen Roundtable is financial or, as Will says, legal advice when he does make the references to robbing banks. But that's most entirely true. I'm just saying, book club's been wild lately.
I have suggested it at least 3 times on the Degen Roundtable.
Not legal advice again. All right.
Correct.
We got Par Hexcellence coming in here saying, congrats, gents, on 100 episodes. Massive effort, especially during the bear. Wishing the DRT crew the maddest of gains. I gotta give
Par Hexcellence a shout out as well. Par Hexcellence had an awesome quote on the DeFi Down Under show, where I'm pretty sure it's Par Excellence. Forgive me if I'm getting the person or name wrong, but they said, if your portfolio is down but you don't look at it, is it really down? And so that's what I would tell the folks at home.
By the way, Mr. Par Excellence, I apologize if I'm butchering it, but I'm looking at a tiny profile picture, but it might be Corey Geary.
Oh,
he's got the arms for it.
That he does. You got some big arms there, my guy. Well done. Well done on them gains. By the way, Brennan, I believe this is for you, but Crispy was saying about our article, it's not about what they do. It's about what they do, not about what they say.
Mm-hmm. Very true. Never listen to what people say. Always see what they do.
Yep.
Alrighty, Mr. Moondog coming in here. He's been killing it tonight, by the way. He says, bankers need privacy. They will be using Tornado Cash-like protocols by mandate, but the founder isn't in jail for those criminals using his tech.
Rules for thee, not for me.
Will, I think we've talked about this stat a number of times. What is the most used currency when it comes to criminal activity?
Oh, that's the US dollar, baby.
So based on this quote from Moondog, who should be in jail?
Definitely the government.
No comment.
And the Federal Reserve.
No comment.
Brendan has the correct answer, which is no comment. But yeah, according to our good buddy Gary Gensler, he famously was talking about how crypto is full of hucksters, scammers, and fraudsters. And well, if you didn't listen to him and you looked into the details, cryptocurrency is used for less than 3% of all illicit transactions globally. And far and away, the top 2 currencies used for illegal activities are the US $100 bill and the US $20 bill. So, fun fact for you.
You know, it's
Mr. Gary Gensler, the rat himself, recently said he's a Bitcoin maxi. No wonder he does with the rest of crypto.
You know what's even funnier about this whole situation, gang, is that so Gary Gensler and Jamie Dimon, who think so lowly of crypto, the one that has been fined the most by the SEC is JP Morgan Chase, I believe. It's either JP Morgan Chase or Wells Fargo, right? If you take a look at the ranking of who's had the most fines because they were up to some shenanigans, that they broke laws, they broke what have you, XYZ, it's JP Morgan Chase is up there, and then crypto's like all the way down at the bottom. So it's just so ironic, dude, when you actually look at the numbers.
Jay, you say that, but I remember probably a year ago at this point, it seems so long, but we covered an article where Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank failed, and in the middle of the night, they were sold at auction by the government to a specific entity.
Yep.
Who was it that bought them again?
I think it was either JP Morgan's. It was either JP Morgan or Wells Fargo that bought them out.
How convenient.
Yeah. It's like, we were talking about like Monsanto and stuff like that earlier. That reminded me a lot of what happened with like the poultry and the meat industry, right? Like first there were many,
Johnson
and then
Meats.
now there were like 4 or 3 left.
Yeah,
so that's what's happening, right? They
get your meat from a local butcher.
Yeah.
Look, I'm just saying JP Morgan Chase might be the most fined, but at the same time, who is getting the sweetheart deals in the middle of the night? It's still JP Morgan Chase.
And I'm saying that no one on this podcast is suicidal, and we're all happy and healthy, and we all feel great and feel fine. And so if we disappear out of nowhere, well, it's been great knowing you guys.
That's true. None of us here have any information that would lead to the arrest of Hillary Clinton or the Clinton the Clinton Foundation.
All right. Well, this episode's not going to get any more views.
I always talk about this is a standard episode for us, apparently.
We're just got
people
nuked.
wonder why we're not getting more views than we do.
Yep.
The marketing hasn't been working. It's all the other stuff we talk about. Shit.
Oh man, we could say all of the banned words.
By the way, COVID is not a banned word anymore. So they say.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's true. All right, we'll tell you what. Let's finish it out here. Funkmaster Hex coming in here saying the real wealthy people are hidden. We got the ninja and we got the cub emoji. There you go. Will, this is I believe in reference to you. You were talking about the sheiks over in the Middle East. You have no idea how much money they have.
Yep. We do not. We do not indeed.
Alrighty. Hexskin Lost in Asia. By the way, always a pleasure to have you, sir. Thank you for suffering the time zone change that we stream with for you. But he says, y'all are rock stars today. Thanks for the show. Any words for our good buddy over in the Far East there?
Always appreciate him checking in. We have a lot of people that are kind of Far East, Australia, and they tune in at very odd times, yet they're here very regularly. So much appreciated.
Yep. And shout out to Battle Hardened Sniper watching from the Ninja Room. We know you're there, broski, and we love you very much.
That's right. By the way, we were for this episode, we were contemplating having guests on and seeing who we should have on. And I mentioned a few folks, but then Brendan was like, hey, no. There's one man that has watched more DRT than some of us have bet on, and that is none other than Battle Hardened Sniper in our own Telegram. So shout out to you, sir. Thank you so much for posting every time we go live. And at the end of it, he posts it and gives the other recap as well. So we want to say thank you very much. We appreciate your support, and we see you.
And if you ever want to come on, you don't have to show your face. You don't have to show anything, but you are welcome to come on our show anytime, a Sunday, a Friday, a Wednesday, doesn't matter. Whatever works best for you. We'd love to have you on someday.
Snipe is too private.
I know, but that's
for good reason.
Yeah.
That's true. We still want to give a shout out.
It's fine.
Hey, listen, Sniper, hear me out. VTuber models are cheap, and voice changers are also cheap. So
Snipe, you gotta come on as a Russian anime girl. Okay.
Oh, there we go.
All right. And you gotta name yourself Alia.
Yeah, special guest for
Sniper.
Yeah, special guest for the anime Shippuden episode. There you go. By the way,
Too cool.
Will, this is a good buddy that you and I have definitely had the pleasure of meeting in person. It's none other than Mr. Hex Monkey himself. He says, "Oh shit, I'm late. We'll watch the replay. Greetings, my G's." And he even gives us an 07.
Cheers.
Cheers to you, Mr.
Never late, always
Hex
on time.
Monkey.
That's
I love
right.
the 07 emoji. That's my favorite.
It's a good one. I know this is a me thing, but I also appreciate whenever like streamers or people see a bunch of 07s in their chat and they don't understand what it is. That just makes me laugh.
Yeah.
What's he
Alrighty.
looking for over there?
It's true. All right, Will, we already got you. Let's toss it over to Aiden J. Good sir. Where can the folks find you? What do you got going on? And where do you think we're going to be at episode 200 or what we're talking about?
If we go at the current pace that we're going, and episode 200 is also during the tail end of September of the post-halving year, we're probably going to be talking about why the crypto market is down because of seasonality, and then we're also going to be talking about what happens in Q4 of that post-halving year. So like Will said, same exact shit except higher prices, bro. And ideally, the crypto market has been culled of all the nonsense. That is my hope, right? That people focus more on the valuable assets and less on the shit coins. But obviously this is the degen's paradise, so the possibility of that happening is probably very, very, very low. In fact,
if I put probably that on Polymarket, Jay, I would not bet on that.
I would not bet on that. I would not bet on that. I would bet that the number of assets in the crypto space probably go up by 100-fold, if not more.
Oh, I was gonna say 10x, but now that I'm thinking about it, 100x actually seems entirely possible.
Yeah. And as far as where you can find me, you can scan that damn QR code and jump into the Telegram chat where we do some streams every now and then. And then you can also find me and Z creating content over at walktheblock.ndf.com. And then let's see. I think that's it, man. You could finally. I spend most of the crypto time in the Telegrams, right? So.
That's true. Jay, give the people an exercise to hit this week.
Pull-ups. Do pull-ups. I'm biased. It's my favorite move of all time. So, and if you don't like pull-ups, then do squats, man. Make sure they're low. Make sure you're not part of the mile-high squatter club. At least hit parallel, right? We don't like the mile-high squatters. Still love you. But you want to get the most ROI for the investment in the gym, and if you're squatting a mile high, you're not really getting much out of it.
That's fair. I like it. All right, Brendan, good sir. Where can the folks find you? What do you got going on? And where are we going to be at episode 200?
Well, great questions. You can find me on the on X, anonymous_bean. Find me in the Telegram. That's where I think one of the people that spend the most time in there of the group. And episode 200, 2027, post-halving year, we're going to see the first country adopt Ethereum as Ethereum as a national currency, just like El Salvador has Bitcoin. We might start to see the first Ethereum country adopt Ethereum as a national currency. So I'm really thinking that with 2 years, that's going to be, we might see it before then, but I think it's going to be a pretty big narrative 2 years from now that Ethereum's branching out from institutional adoption to government adoption. So I think that's a very big possibility. I think we're also going to be talking about, hey, look, we're getting geared up before the pop off. Like if you're not, getting your dry powder in, get it in. So it'll be interesting because I'm curious what projects we're going to be talking about. Like Jay said, we're going to be talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's not even a question. I hope we're still talking about Pulse Chain and Ethereum. I think we will be. But what's new, right? What's the next cycle's narrative? Because it's going to be something that that's not even on the radar right now. So I do think that country adoption, like, okay, maybe it's not even Ethereum. Like, is there a third coin that becomes like a national currency for a country? Maybe it's Hex. I don't know. Maybe it's Hexico. We'll see what happens in the next 2 years. Probably Solana.
Probably Solana.
Litecoin.
That would suck if a country had Solana and then like, shit, it's down again. Can I give you some gold?
Like Litecoin, bro? Oh my god, I know about Litecoin, bro. Litecoin for the past few weeks have been arguing with Bencoin back and forth.
Oh my god.
So I don't know about Litecoin, bro.
Nah, I'm just being funny, man.
It has been a hilarious exchange between Ben and the Litecoin X page. So if you want to, like, if you're knee deep in crypto, or if you're neck deep in crypto and you understand some of the language, you will find that interaction hilarious.
Dig it.
But yeah, so I'll just say that we'll start to see more countries adopting Bitcoin, Ethereum, and potentially other currencies. And I think we'll see Ethereum be considered national tender. I don't know what you want to call it, but acceptable currency in at least one or two countries.
Yeah, I like it.
Zenith, what about you, broski? Where can the folks find you? What do you think about 200, and what have you got going on?
Excellent showmanship there, good sir. Tell you what, I know what Moondog thinks episode 200 will be about, and he is saying episode 200, which compliant captured stablecoin is offering the most yield to herd the masses, aka to offload their dirty fiat, or maybe to something more trackable and convenient. So, hey, that's not a terrible answer, actually. I like it a lot. And
dude, I just hope, Moondog, that if that is the case, that the yield on our stable coins doesn't become as shit as the yield the bank is giving you for your savings. Because
that's true.
I have a very similar figure of stable coins sitting in some just accumulating yield, and man, I've accumulated more yield in those stable coins sitting in some protocols than I've ever accumulated lifetimes worth in my freaking Chase account. So I just hope they don't nuke the yields.
I mean, Coinbase is doing 4.5% APY right now.
Shout out
do
Coinbase for that
USDC.
4.5%, man. I like seeing that monthly payout.
Yep. Now,
It
every
is
time
not
you add
bad.
to it, you have to click to turn the yielding back on, because they auto turn it off for you. So they're not out there just giving away free money if you're not paying attention every time you add in there. That was something that I noticed, is like every time I put USDC in to Coinbase, I noticed that little option has switched to off. And so make sure that you guys pay attention to that yielding option and keep it always on.
Well said, sir. All right, I'll tell you what. Here's what I predict for... Oh, go for it, please.
All right, I was going to say, I just want to shout out, the stable pool on PulseX is still 6.3%. Not bad at all.
6.3%, gang.
Oh, okay,
That ain't bad for
okay.
stablecoin pool.
Yep.
Although I remember Celsius was like, we're at 8%.
Yep.
Be careful.
Be careful, guys.
Be careful out there, man.
Oh my gosh. All right, tell you what. Here's Uncle Z's predictions for episode 200. By the way, Brendan, if you had to tally up how many bottles of champagne you've popped on stream with us, how many would you say it is?
For me, I would say 3. I think you've definitely done more than I have. I think I've done 2 on Degen Roundtable and 1 on another episode.
That's fair. All right, I think I'm at 6, and 7 including tonight. So I predict that by episode 200, we'll be popping our 21st bottle of champagne to give it the old blackjack number there.
And it's Vuv. We're not on. What are you doing now? What's your?
I like Corbel. Corbel is the Californian champagne. This goes back to the Treaty of Versailles, when France made their demand that only champagne made in the Champagne region of France can be called champagne. Everything else is sparkling wine. But these guys survived it somehow, so they're California champagne. Yes,
that's actually very interesting. I like so for cheap champagne, I like the Bubbly Brut, the little gray tag on the bottle. It's $10. It's really good. Although this is not champagne, this is Prosecco, but this is 15, and it's really good. I'm shocked. Nonetheless, maybe by then we'll be upgrading to Vuv.
That's right. The prediction for episode 200 is that the champagne bottle price has doubled, not due to inflation, but maybe, hopefully not due to inflation, but mostly due to us doing well. I will say for episode 199, though, here are my predictions, is that we will be arguing about whether Solana has actually established itself as the third major blue chip coin in the space. XRP will have their 5th court win, which has somehow doubled their price again. We will also have all the haters shouting how Hex can't possibly do another 10,000x for a 3rd time after it did it twice. And then somehow someone will be covering, namely me and will be reading legal documents about how the U.S. government is implementing not only a crypto strategic reserve, but the constitutional or unconstitutionality of the U.S. government trying to stake Ethereum.
Yep, I can see that.
If P Hex or E Hex does another 10,000x, I will publicly I'll publicly apologize to Richard Hart and take back all the bad things that I said. I will write a 1,000 word apology in MLA format for him as well.
Hey,
Times-
is MLA still
Times New
relevant?
Roman,
Times New Roman.
double spaced.
Yeah, here you go. Google will have officially launched their AI model that makes more money than open source AI and everything else combined, yet still somehow puts out worse results. I will continue to fight the ChatGPT image generator or whatever image generator I'm using at the time, and it will still continue to create models that have 3 and 4 hands attached to them. Thank you very much.
Oh, you know what else, Z? I'm actually looking forward, since you mentioned AI, I'm actually really looking forward to where robo-taxis are going to be in 2028, because they're piloting it here in Central Phoenix in Arizona. And
the
Elon
Waymos.
Musk, because he's always about the most entertaining outcome. I think the initial price for robo-taxis were like $4.20, and then now they're like $6.90. So they're probably gonna scale the pricing, but I like. If it sticks at like $6.90, I think riding those autonomous vehicles is going to be more practical than freaking driving your own car.
That's true.
There was
that's spicy. Actually,
it was fielded also in Austin, Texas, and one of the things, I don't remember which company it was, but they all of the other drivers really quickly learned that you can just be rude as hell to these auto driving taxis, and they'll just like stop. And so basically Austin, Texas traffic is horribly congested. And so basically everyone was like the robo taxis couldn't go anywhere because everyone was cutting them off and everyone was being more aggressive than the robo taxi. And it was just super funny in the first couple months.
That's true. I guess the final thing for the 4-year cycle prediction, Uncle Z will be proven wrong about 4-year cycle, and the trend will break, and we'll go into Q1, and everyone makes stupid amounts of money and does very well. But then episode 200 is going to be arguing with people about, no, the low is actually in. Bitcoin only bottomed at 47,500, and it's not going any lower, despite whatever the current scandal of someone with a Cayman Island mansion of coders that are giving them drugs like Sam Bankman-Fried used to do, that kind of stuff.
Oh, I got one more Z.
Hit me.
So post halving year, so 27.
Or pre-halving year, isn't it? 28's halving, right?
So pre-halving year is 27, halving year is 28, post-halving year would be 29. So post-halving year 2029, Peter Schiff is going to be talking about how Bitcoin will never reach $500,000. and how it's going to crash to $250,000.
Oh, it's going to crash to 250. It's going to crash to 250.
It's going to crash to 250. Crash to 250.
Good.
And Jim Cramer is going to say, "Buy gold."
Buy gold.
No, Jim
If he's
Cramer.
still alive.
Oh, I imagine Jim Cramer's still going to be alive. He's going to be saying that Bitcoin's going to $100 million, and that instead of buying wedding rings, you should be buying NFTs of your Bitcoin hold that's never being sold by some new perma-locking token thing, and that's how you propose marriage.
There was a TV show back when Bitcoin was like $50 where they were talking about like Bitcoin, and it had to go to court, and Jim Cramer appeared in that episode, and I can't remember which show it was. If anyone in the comments can remember that, that would be awesome. But yeah, I think that we'll find out that Jim Cramer was actually Satoshi, and that is my other guesstimate. It not being Hunter Biden, I think that, and not being Len Sassaman, I think that. And we also know it's not Craig Wright, I suppose. I think that we're going to find out that Jimothy Cramer turns out to be Satoshi this whole time.
There you go.
Leading us from the front.
Stands. Jim Cramer will still remain, and the inverse Cramer law will still at least be batting above 50%. I'll say that much. Tell you what, though, before I give you the final outro pleasantries, I do have something here for you. So let me know if the sound is not on, but I believe it is. The lost tapes. Here we go.
The lost tapes.
I cannot hear anything.
Well, there's no talking anyways, so. There you go. There it is.
Yep.
Lost tapes, one and only.
Yep. So there's Alan dressed up as Deadpool slapping me for drinking disgusting Gatorade.
Oh my gosh. All right, tell you what, let's go ahead and get on here. Folks, thank you so much for joining us. I am Zenith. I have been your host of this excellent band, or the Roundtable of Degenerates for this evening. You can find me on X and Instagram at zenithdi. But I'll tell you this much. You know, usually Agent J is the one out here saying that we know that time is your most valuable asset.
I'm rusty.
And he's a little out of practice, if you will. But as our famous Agent J often says, we know that time is your most valuable asset. So we want to thank you each and every time that you spend it here with us. Mr. Producer, that is me. Go ahead and get that trigger finger ready, because it is time to remind all the folks at home to remember to degen responsibly.